Oh, hey, didn't hear you come in. Welcome back, everybody. This is United versus everybody. This is the Kickabout. I'm Sean. This is Dylan, and welcome, you guys. Dylan, how are you doing?
Doing well. Just busy for first couple weeks of school, so a little fatigued, but hey, happy
Yeah,
to be here. Highlight of my week right now.
these
So.
little bastards. Dylan's a teacher. For you guys who don't know, so we can say that he can say it. You guys can't. Um, but yes, we are here today with a special edition of the Kickabout. So we are, as promised, with your help, we're actually going to talk a lot today about United's transfer window. Is a big transfer window, is an important transfer window. I want all your thoughts. I know everybody's got feelings, got thoughts. Dylan, I know you've got thoughts. We're going to take a look at each transfer. You know what we how we rate them, what we think they bring to the team, what do we think about them in general, kind of a thing. We're going to look at just the Premier League in general when it comes to transfers. We're going to give some hot takes, of course, and then we're also going to talk about the upcoming season. Obviously, we can't give our season predictions until the transfer business is done. And now that it's done, we can get a little idea of what's going to happen. So we're going to do all that. And with your help, maybe we can have a little bit of a consensus on what we think of the window, how it compares to the first window under Ineos, and what we can anticipate for the upcoming season. Dylan, you excited?
I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to this.
Well, you guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Please share the videos as well to help us get on the road to 3K. Love to get there before the January window, you guys. So just tell everybody. Tell your husband. Tell your kids. Tell your grandma next time you see her. Tell the cashier at Walmart next time you're checking out. Hey, you know what, fellas? Next time you're getting a physical, turn your head and cough. But then also tell your doctor about United versus everybody. So I'm just saying,
Oh,
we want the 3K. Let's get the 3K. It's fine. It's awkward. It's fine. No one's business. These guys already got his hand on your ball sack. I mean, how much more awkward can it get? Really, really can it? So, well, that
you
just
know
got
what? You should check
demonetized.
out United.
Yeah. United versus everybody. Well, you've got a hernia. Awesome. Well, United versus everybody, please. Um, so let me get caught up on the chat. Let me see who's in here. I am Titanium's got to dip in and out. No problem. I am Titanium. I saw you on the chat when I put a link up earlier. The under 21s played a friendly against the PFA's free agent squad. So the PFA has this whole initiative where they're helping players who are free agents who don't have a club. They're basically giving them training opportunities and stuff. And today they put together like a squad and they played the under 21s in a friendly at Carrington. So saw I am Titanium in and out of that chat as well. Rob, welcome, Rob. Good to see you. Yes, please like the video. Please subscribe. Danny B, my Irish brother from another mother in the house. Hope you're doing well, my friend. You guys are funny. Jay, how are you doing, dude? What's funny is that next summer we have minimal positions to bolster. I mean, get your thoughts in. I did put a poll in the chat. Are there any positions that we maybe neglected to strengthen? I put 4 positions that we didn't buy anybody in. You guys let me know. Let Jay know what you think about that. Welcome back, Jay. Good to see you again. Box, big up. Hope you're doing well. Mad Hatter. I'm going to tell my doctor when I get a colonoscopy soon. Well, why don't you shove a link up there and then he'll see it on the scope when he's looking, and then he can be like, "How did that get there? Oh, why don't we watch and see?" He can watch it from inside. Don't do that. That goes against good sound
Whoa.
medical advice. Rob says 2 great goals in that. Oh yeah, there was some good goals in that match, you guys. It was awesome. Um, Bach says Dylan has never looked more like Ericsson than right now. Well, that's high praise. How you feel? Do you have a club yet, Christian?
I
Are you
don't have a club
still a
yet.
free
I'm
agent?
sorry,
Weren't
my
you going to the
brother doesn't have
MLS?
a club yet. But yeah, I'm hearing rumbling. Not really. That's high praise because that's good for when we go to Manchester. I really want
Yeah,
people like, oh my gosh.
yeah. It would be. I'm just gonna walk around with a camera, and every time someone looks at you, I'm gonna get like the Call of Duty like sniped video like
Hmm.
icon on them when I see them, and it's gonna like toot, 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 and I'm gonna be like, "Got him,
I'm
we got him."
I am totally gonna sign as Christian Eriksen too.
You won't get sued. It's all right. Just start signing autographs at the
Yeah.
Blaze or something. Football museum could be lit. You got to wear like European. those like what's new in fashion now? The stuff that makes you look like a bum, but the kind of bum clothes that rich people wear. You know,
Hmm.
like baggy sweaters or like t-shirts that look about 3 sizes too big. Whatever the kids are wearing these days, that's what you got to wear. So,
I'll have
um,
them dress me.
just tell the kids. um, so we're gonna dive into all that. We'll start with a little odds and ends. Did you see this statement, Dylan, that from the EFL that Grimsby apparently are going to be fined
Mhm.
20K for apparently fielding an ineligible player against us in the Carabao Cup match? So we had 5 days to decide if we wanted to appeal it. It looks like we decided not to do so. How are you feeling about that? I put up a poll on the channel's page and see how everybody felt about that. Most people say, no, we were shit. We don't deserve it. What are your thoughts?
That was exactly how I felt. We definitely didn't want it. You could tell
Yeah.
out there that I mean we have enough skilled players without that that we should have been able to.
Yeah.
Grimsby was up for it, but we still should have been able to win. And just watching, just watching that first half, I mean, you and I were both sitting there like, "Come on, guys!" And you
Yeah.
could tell Grimsby wanted it. That first 45, our rotation players didn't,
Yeah.
and it took a bit for the first teamers to get in there, and they came back. But at the same time, it wasn't enough. And no, we don't deserve it. So.
Amorim really should have just been able to pull a Jurgen Klopp and not even show up to that. He should have
Hmm.
just been able to sit back at his apartment, his house, wherever he lives now, and no shoes,
Yep.
socks, snuggie, whatever he wants to do, and he should have just been able to watch it from home. Like this
Yeah.
should not have, like this should have, like it was the same against Coventry in that match in the FA Cup we nearly got knocked out of. It was what 70 some odd minutes. That game should have been done. Like
Yeah.
everybody should have been able to go home. You should have been able to put like random 11 from the crowd, like win a contest or something, and they should have been
Yep.
able to see that out. These players, man, these players are ridiculous. But yeah, like you said, our performance completely undeserving of a win to begin with, let alone a rematch. I would be embarrassed if we were given a rematch or something, or if they gave us their place. I would have been like, nah, I'm all good. Box does not want to sound petty, but he says usually the ruling is teams are thrown out for this. I don't even care, man. To be honest with you, Grimsby can have it. They were the better side. So,
Hmm.
did that player even make a huge impact on the match? I don't even remember now.
I didn't even
I
remember him coming on.
don't even remember who it was now that we're talking about it. I didn't like I've only got so much hard drive space in here. I can't remember every little arbitrary thing. Rob says sounds fishy. I see what you did there, Rob. I see you. Box says I say replay the game. Some of us are petty. I'm petty. You guys know I'm petty, especially with the tribalism and the rivalries. But at the same time, it's like again, we didn't do the season award stream this past summer because we didn't deserve it, and this is another one of those instances where I feel like we didn't deserve it. Bexy wants to know, will Kone come into the frame? We will talk about that, man. We're going to be talking about all sorts of season expectations. Kone's been injured. Seems like he's back a little bit, semi-fit, so we'll see how he does. So, but yeah, thought that was interesting in terms of just the EFL Cup. Again, doesn't sound like we've appealed it, so kind of
Yeah.
just. And I don't really mind. I think it's the same reason like we cancel awards dinners at the club and stuff. Like we don't deserve it, and the players know that. If I were a player and they were like, "Yep, you get to take Grimsby Town's spot," I'd be like, "Do I want to?" No. Oh boy. But yeah, that does leave us just one more cup competition. So, jeez, we used to be in four, now we're in two.
Hmm.
Oh shit. So, all right, let's talk about this transfer window because it was interesting. I think we accomplished a lot. I think that we in both in incomings and outgoings, and I do think that there's still way more work to be done. And
Oh yeah.
to me, that is less of a slight against Ineos and more of just a glaring indictment of just how much work and how was to be done and how much neglect and how much really mismanagement we've seen. Let's take a look at who left the club this summer, and we'll talk a little bit about that. You good with that?
Yep.
All right. So obviously Ericsson, Lindelof, Evans all left for free. The contract expired. Obviously Lindelof's at Aston Villa. Did Evans go someplace?
Johnny Evans.
I don't remember. Did he? I thought he went. I thought I saw him rock up at like Scotland or something. Someone let me know.
Well, Johnny Evans is working in the. He
Oh,
retired.
that's
He's in the
right.
youth setup.
Duh. All right. Yep. I have a United fan channel. I know what I'm talking about. I do my work. It's been guys. I've been up since like 3 in the morning. It's not a good day. And I got to get up super early tomorrow because I got a PFA class all day, and they're 5 hours ahead of me in London. So my ass has got to be on the stream on the video call at like 5:30 in the morning, which means I got to get up at like 4:30 because. Yep. Anyway, we're gonna power through maximum effort. So obviously those three left for free, as is tends to be the case with United, right? And then we started this clear out a little bit. Rashford, Barcelona, loan with a 26 million pound option to buy. Garnacho, Chelsea, 40 million, 10% sell on. He is our fourth biggest sale, which is just all sorts of wrong for all sorts of reasons. Biggest academy sale ever, which made me kind of put the question out there. Maybe do we hold on to academy players too long sometimes? Do we not maybe recognize when some of them maybe aren't there and maybe take advantage of that? We did. I think we did that with Lingard when Newcastle came calling. We probably should have sold him. Sometimes I think we forced that. Anthony, Real Betis, 21.5 million pounds, 2.5 million add-ons, 50% sell-on profit. Hoyland, Napoli, loan with obligation, 5 million loan fee, 35 million obligation. Sancho, just the loan fee, straight loan, no obligation, no option. They're paying 80% wages. Now, Jamie Jackson reports that could go up to 100% if certain conditions are met. I haven't yet seen the breakdown of those conditions, though. And then Collier is the other first teamer who went on a loan to West Brom. And then there's a slew of, like, I think there's like 14, 15 academy players who've gone on a loan. We broke that down the other day. So, that's about 90-ish million or so in sales. A little bit. You probably got a lot of notes in there too. A bit more from add-ons as well. We've saw incoming money from Alvaro, Oyedele, Alanga as well. Knocked down a lot of that wage bill as well. We're saving a ton of money on
That was
wages.
huge.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling about the outgoings? And a lot of you voted that you wanted to see the Deadwood clear out. Do you think we accomplished that?
Yeah, definitely 100%. And um, yeah, we had to take some bad deals, but it's what we had to do to kind of reset the whole room. And you see that when you get changes in cultures, you don't necessarily get everything you want or think you deserve because you're kind of a little desperate to get rid of them. But cultural standpoint, mentality standpoint, I think it's going to work out. Probably for most of them, well, Sancho's a twat, so it doesn't even matter about him. Same thing with Garnacho. But I think
I'm gonna take that tweet or that text message and I'm just gonna print it on a T-shirt and put it in the shop.
you
Sancho's such a
should.
bitch. Just for you. I'm just gonna wear it everywhere. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go
No,
ahead.
that's good. I do laugh at. Sometimes I just think about that at work when I'm sad. I'll be like, "Sancho's a bitch," and I just start laughing.
And then you feel better.
I do. uh,
Oh boy,
uh,
that's free therapy, man. Just that's see,
right?
we call that reframing and self-talk for people in the therapy world. You just whenever you feel down, just remind yourself Sancho's a little bitch.
He is.
And he's Aston Villa's problem right now, as Mad
Exactly.
Hatter points out. Yeah, the standards at Villa have really dropped these days.
Yeah. Holy
Continue,
crap.
sorry.
But no, but so for those two, I'm just going to speak a little bit on Garnacho right now. His attitude's going to be the problem, and
Yeah.
he's got the skill. He'll be fine as a player, but if he's going to whine and complain, there's other guys that'll take a spot. Jamie Gittins is over there. Yeah, there's the
I've
Tyreek
got
George is there, and
Garnacho will pop back up later with one of my hot
yeah,
takes on the season. You guys will
yeah.
see.
There's a couple other players. I'm sure they can throw in like João Pedro or somebody to throw on that left if they really want to. If he's going to be a little
Mudrick
bitch like
is
he was
still in the
here,
squad.
I thought he was suspended for.
I don't know. Footmob says he's still on the squad, so
Oh,
I don't know what happens there. So
mm,
he could
uh,
easily pop back up. I have no idea.
but
But yeah, you're
but
right. They've got a lot of players, right?
yeah, he's not guaranteed a spot like he was with us, so he's going to have to shape up. As Rashford, I think I'm not happy with the way he conducted those interviews and things like that. I do think
Mm-mm.
he the going to Barcelona is the reset he needs. Change of scenery, different perspective.
I don't know. He's
Um,
not playing super well.
no, he's not. Which is I was hoping he would
Yeah.
kind of turn it around, but
No, Rashford going Rashford, man. You can take the Rashford out of
yeah,
Manchester United. You can't take the Rashford out of
which
Rashford.
is which is too bad because he's such a good player when he's just doing
He's
his thing and not.
he's very much a system player.
Yeah,
And if you're not playing counterattack, fast-paced football or throwing long balls over the top, he's definitely going to struggle. Worked well under Ollie, worked well under Jose because that's the football they play.
yeah.
And I was hoping maybe he could adjust, maybe with tactical managers like Ten Hag or whatnot, could come in, teach him what to do when you're slowed down, what to do when you're not just getting your head down and running into space. But he couldn't do it. It seemed like he got worse when he had to slow down and actually think about what he was doing
Well,
instead of just running.
and and you could tell that I think he was getting frustrated that he couldn't do it, that
Yeah.
he couldn't get better that way, and through fit to get out, I was really hoping kind of the shining star there for a little bit of
Mm.
the academy, but hopefully it kicks on. I do feel bad for Hoyland and Anthony. I
Yeah.
mean, Anthony didn't necessarily have the best attitude all the time, but he did. He kept it to himself, and he
Yeah.
tried. Hoyland, I feel so bad for that guy.
Yeah.
Really, really tried. Really put his heart and soul into the club, and it just didn't work out. That was a move probably too soon. And
Anthony, I mean, Anthony has a chance to go to Bayern Munich, apparently, according to according to the. I don't know how much I believe that, to be
yeah,
honest. Personally, I read that and I was like, all right. I mean, let's be honest. Were you really going to go to Bayern Munich, brother? Yeah, no,
no,
I don't like the Rashford interview. I don't. We'll talk about
no,
Isaac a little bit more later on as well. But like, I called into Sirius XM yesterday while I was driving, and gave my thoughts on this whole Isaac thing because Rodney Marsh, of course, the ex-City player, doesn't have a problem. He says there's no morals in football. He says players should do what they want. There's no loyalty, no morals. Tommy Smith, a little bit more old school. I happen to lean more. I called in not so much to complain about players wanting to move because that is normal. I question them on the manner in which these players. So you're talking about Rashford. Like I question the unsanctioned interviews, the
yeah,
tweets, the statements that the club doesn't know about, in this weird kind of misguided effort to control the narrative, force people's hands, put them in a bad position, negotiation. That's the kind of stuff that bugged me. And Rodney, the ex-City player, comes back and he's like, "Should we just censor people on social media?" And God bless Tommy Smith. He challenged him. He was like, Rodney, you work for Sirius XM. If you go on Facebook or Twitter and bash Sirius XM, you'll get fired. And I'm like, yeah, Dylan, if you go on social media tomorrow and bash your principal or the school district, what do you think is going to happen to you?
no, yeah.
It's
That, I'm fired like that. So
so I don't know. That's it makes me feel old, but yeah, I didn't like Rashford's Henry Winter interview. I didn't like
yeah,
the way Garnacho, way Sancho. I don't like the way Isak did what he did. And like you're saying, to his credit, Anthony Hoyland, they've kept their heads down. They've tried to work. It's not their fault that maybe they're not good enough. They're not a good
yeah,
fit for the league or the system
yeah.
or
And
whatever it
Anthony will
is.
probably kick on in Spain and do great. I mean, we saw him last year, but this year will be different. It's not going to be the same. So we'll see how he does. Hoyland, I hope for the best for him because that
Yeah.
poor kid did everything right. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, and
So
even if like let's say Betsy's make their money back if they have to sell them and they just sell them for like 20 million, we'll still get a little bit more out of that too.
yep.
So I think it's 50% of the profits
But,
from that, not like 50% of the fee. So I think it's
but I do
whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do want to touch on. You mentioned it earlier. Those wages coming off the bill.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
huge. That just
yeah,
having that get off. Like Sancho's wages are 80% covered. Sweet. Okay. Rashford's basically off the books. Garnacho is going to be off the books. He wasn't a big hit, but still, that's just
yeah.
gone. Okay. Like some of these big wages coming off. That's big, and that'll save a little bit of money there. So
And that's why I have a hot take later on when we do hot takes for my season predictions in terms of transfers because we've made some money. We got a lot of money off the wages. Even Erickson, Lindelof, and Evans is like 250K a week, pretty much.
mhm.
That's huge. So that saves us a lot of money. That's what 12, 13 million a year or so
Yep.
from that. That's pretty good. So Bach says we get decent money coming for sure with these sell-on clauses. We always throw in those sell-on clauses, and that is a big help. It's just always money, 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 money coming in, man.
Mhm.
Adrian C says Sancho is the Randy Moss of the Raiders.
That's a good one.
Yeah, last time I remember Randy Moss is when, so I'm a Pats fan, when we signed him, and Tom Brady gave up some of his salary to make room for Randy Moss because NFL's got a salary cap. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, that was a good time to be a Patriots fan.
Yeah, I
Fox
remember
says,
those days.
I read that Barca are planning to put a fund together to buy Alvarez next summer. I doubt they'll buy Rashford permanently. Well, Lewandowski is not even really, is he? I think he's not even really playing a whole lot right now.
No.
So they're going to need a striker. Alvarez probably would be a pickup for him. It
Yep.
seems like Liverpool were definitely trying to hoover up some strikers because they know that Barcelona, Bayern are probably going to be looking in the future as well. City will probably lose Holland in a year or so, too. So interesting. Bexy says Rashford is average to good, not a quality player who can adapt. Yeah,
Yep.
he's never been a £100 million player. He's never been a 300K a week player. Unfortunately, he's probably a little better than Lingard, but that's probably where I would put him. That's not me trying to diss him. It's just that's just is what it is. When I look at top class left wingers, you're looking at like Kvaratskhelia kind of stuff, like Lamine
Mm-hmm.
Yamal, like that's like, and those guys are like 2 levels above Rashford at least. So, and like Bexy says, Cunha is so much better than Rashford. Dylan, were
I
you
really like
worried?
Cunha.
Yeah, Cunha is so good.
I love Cunha.
Were you worried at all that we might have been stuck with any of these guys for the next 6 months at least? Were there any that you were like, I don't like? I was worried for a second here that we'd still have like Sancho dicking around or something.
I was like worried that we'd have to pay the wages, but I was also kind of the opinion like when Garnacho was like, either send me to Chelsea or I'm going to sit for 6 months. I'm like, what the hell do we care? Like, just sit. Like,
There's a seat
yeah,
for you right there.
yeah,
Carrington's got all new chairs, dude. Pick one. They're
yeah.
super comfortable.
I'm like, Sancho can do the same thing. Hell, don't even show up. I don't care. Like, just we're not wanted. Like,
Has Sancho ever shown up?
no, because he's a little bitch. Like,
Sancho would do more for us if he just did not show up than if he's on the
yeah.
pitch, man. He's freaking annoying.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I was worried there that we were going to get stuck with Sancho because all the Juve stuff
Mm-hmm.
kind of popped up and then it went away, mostly because of those wages. Because that, more than Garnacho, that was going to hurt me because that's a lot of money to just let sit around on the bench and stuff. I mean, it was good that we got him out of here. Malaysia could still leave. I think the Turkish league is open for a little while. Sancho, our transfer
Saudi
window.
Arabia is still open.
So we still got Bindier, we still got Onana. We could still see some exits. Heck, somebody could come in for Casemiro. You never know. It could happen. Rob says Eric Ten Hag sacked after, or Bexy says Eric Ten Hag sacked after 2 days is brutal. I wonder what Leverkusen saw in the backgrounds. Yeah, you sent me a statement earlier from who was that? The director of football, the president. I don't remember who it was. Leverkusen.
Yeah, they had it in build. I can't remember who said it exactly, but
yeah. I think Ten Hag's training I don't think it's like too hard. I think it's just a little like old school kind of a thing, very almost basic. Remember, we got a lot of complaints that he was just over analyzing too much, showing film over and over and over again, and eventually, like, there will be diminishing returns with stuff like that. You show players stuff like that too much, they're not going to retain it as well and stuff. It's finding that fine line. But then he says Scam Show never wanted us to get a transfer fee for him, dude. When we play Aston Villa, he can't play against us, can he?
Nope.
Fuck. I was really
not
hoping.
unless they get it. I think they can get a waiver for him to play if they want to.
Because it's not an obligation or anything. Or not even an option. He's just a straight loan, so he's not even going to play. Man, I wanted someone to just muller him. That's all right. We'll do it to Garnacho. It's all right.
There you go. Oh, please.
Is that harsh?
Please. So he's operating on that left. So, come on. So he's going to be going against Ahmad. Ahmad just elbow him right in the first.
Oh, man. Just start Mizraoui over on that side that day.
Do it.
No. Says, go ahead.
No, let's 2-foot chop him with Ugarte. Just say Ugarte, just fuck it. Just go get a card immediately.
Just only bring on Ugarte when they bring on Garnacho, and just say stick to him. Pull Ander Herrera on Eden Hazard and just stick to him like glue. Don't let him breathe. Don't let him do it. You're basically going to be wearing this same shirt at that point. Bexy says Sancho rejects knowledge. Push him down the river and let nature take its course.
That's a good one, Bexy.
Oh, yikes. Oh, man. Sancho, man. you could literally teach a whole course on what not to do in the transfer market 101, and it could just be United's dealings over the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you just learn what not to do. They should teach that to people going into football business degrees. All right, so that
Write the
was
book, Sean. Write the book.
God. I'm already working too much as it is, dude. I'm trying to figure out a way to turn this PFA stuff into a freaking coaching, like mental coaching business, and I can't do it through my already existing practice. I have to do it outside of it because I can't use my LPC license because other states and stuff, other countries. So now I got to figure out a way to do that. You can't just start a business and you have to go through paperwork. You got to get like an LLC. You got to do all, and the licensure is just so crazy too. I can't see clients that live in different states because I'm not licensed in those states. Just like you can't just rock up to Ohio without getting a teaching certificate for Ohio, basically.
Pretty much.
It's weird. Box is very surprised that Italian sides were interested in Sancho, to be honest. So Syria, Aston Villa's standards are dropping, Serie A standards are dropping.
Villa's 19th in the table, man. They're falling.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of that later because we're going to get picks for what the top 6 might look like, what the top European spots might look like, what the bottom 3 might look like, where you guys see United finishing, who's going to be our top scorer next academy. We're going to do all that stuff. I put a lot of that stuff out there on the community tab so you guys can prepare yourself. So hopefully you did your homework. So those are the outgoings. About roughly a little bit more than 100 million with sell-ons from the other players as well. So not too bad. Probably our best return in a while, for being honest with you.
Yeah.
How do you think?
Sad.
How do you think we did as far as the outgoings are concerned? If you had to give that like a grade or a rating, what do you think? How do you think we did there?
Honestly, that's probably the best we could have done. I think we could have got more for Garnacho.
Yeah.
I don't, because just the way our reputation is in the market, we got to build that back up.
Yeah.
I think would have gone a good way to do that. So I'm going to give them about a 7.
Yeah.
I think there could have been room for improvement. Get a little more money, but yeah, we got to rebuild that whole market because everybody just thinks they can boss United around, and it's going to take a while for us to get rid of that moniker. So
yeah, it doesn't help that the players that we needed to get out of here are also the players with the attitude problems who maybe like Sancho were happy to kind of not be in a big hurry to kind of put pressure on us and collect more money and stuff. So I do think that, like someone said earlier, we tend to get fleeced a little bit. We don't sell our academy players very high, which is really annoying. Garnacho, realistically, if you're looking at what Chelsea paid for other players, should have gone for minimum 60 million, all things being equal. The 10% sell-on could make up for that. You don't see a whole lot of that too often, but I'll probably give it like a 6, maybe a 6 out of 10, just for the fact that they're gone. Like that's all that matters to me. If you look at it from a financial standpoint, it's not the best. That's why I dropped a lot of money there. But it wasn't the best. But I think that it needed to happen. So getting rid of Sancho, Højlund, Antony, Garnacho, Rashford, 5 players who all attacking players as well. Like we sold 4 wingers this window, which I don't think anybody would have anticipated Manchester United ever doing. But we just don't play with these players. So.
Yep.
Let's see. Rob says 6. Great to see some leave, but all on the cheap or coming back later. Yeah, that's probably where I'm going. Danny's going with a 5 out of 10. So probably split that difference between yours and mine. Give it like a 6 or
6 works.
6.5, maybe 6 out of 10 for leaving. Interesting. All right, now we're going to look at who we signed. So you guys make sure you're liking. Make sure you subscribe if you are in the process of getting your physical. Make sure you tell your doctor while you're doing this. We're going to look at who we signed. We're going to look at how much we signed them for. We're going to look at what you like about them, what you think they bring to the squad. What do you think that, how they stand out? What do you think that, they'll do for us? So let me break them down real quick, and then we'll go through each one. And so Šeško, 66.3 million pounds plus 7.5 million in add-ons. Could bring that up to, what is that, like 63 million for him, or 73 million altogether. Mbuemo, 65 million, 6 million in add-ons. Cunha, flat, 62.5 million. Senelamans, 18.2 million plus 3.5 million in add-ons. Now, keep in mind, Villa offered Antwerp more, but he only wanted United. Kind of a theme of the summer for some of these players as well. Nice too to have another Belgian player. It's been a while. Can anybody name the other Belgian players we've had in recent years? Can you do it?
Um, is it Lukaku Belgian?
Lukaku's Belgian. Yeah, there you
Right.
go. Extra points
Um,
for who can do that.
I can't think of the other one.
There haven't been many. Some of them are just academy players that no one's ever really heard of as well. So, Januzaj is one.
Forgot about Januzaj.
Yep. Rob got another one. Fellaini, also Belgian.
I didn't know he was Belgian. I don't know why I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was Italian.
Richie Galat is another one. Way that's
Damn.
about yeah, it was like 08, 09, Richie Galat, and that was about the only first teamers. Really, other ones have just been academy players that no one's really ever heard of, and so. But yes, it is nice to have another Belgian player in and around the squad. He and I actually have you watched any of his interviews that he's been given?
No,
Sonny
I've
Lamans?
kind of just seen some of the posts that he's put out there. I like
Yeah,
what's been said so far.
yeah. I posted on United's video. Or I commented on. He's doing it. He's mentally, and this we talked about this yesterday because the former guy who used to work at Antwerp, who basically we used to have a great relationship with Antwerp, right? We would send a lot of players there. There was a guy, I forget his name now. Someone remind me, Paul something. He was the guy who facilitated a lot of those deals. He spoke with a YouTube channel the other day and talked a lot about Sonny Lamans. Talked about how focused he is, how in the zone he is, and then watching Lamans' interview, a lot of it is just not only just focus and stuff during a match, but just proactive like mindfulness and good mental like emotional awareness and stuff. He takes a lot. He reads a lot. He takes a lot. His favorite book. He and I share the favorite book. I actually have 2 copies of it. That's how much I like it. I saw that interview and I was like, I look like the Leo DiCaprio like gif. Like, hey, I know that book. I love this book, The Alchemist. My favorite book. You guys read it if you get a chance. But he keeps notes. He takes notes. He's got a notebook, just little mental thoughts and things. Like he does a really good job of just staying in the zone, and that's a big thing that helps you not only stay focused, but it helps you be resistant to a lot of external pressure. And as a keeper, that's crucial because you cannot have anything to do the whole match. And some people might think that's easy, but it's not because you have to be in the same mindset as the rest of your teammates who are constantly playing, even when you're not doing anything. Because when it comes to you, you've got to already be there, and that's hard. It's like staying warm when it's cold and you have to stand in place. Like it's difficult to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was the name guy, Danny. I like that a lot. Yeah, he does box. He does seem like
Yeah.
mature. It's hard to think he's only 23 years old. It's hard to think I'm 17 years older than this bastard. I hate you, kid. Um, so yeah, he's 23. He's super, super mature, man. Says imagine Garnacho reading a book. Oh, if it ain't on Twitter, they're not gonna read it.
Well,
Oh, the
and
places you'll go, right? That's what they'll read.
talking about the focus, just it's didn't it seem at times like Onana's focus drifted?
Oh, Nana has no mentality whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, you could
Zero.
just see at times he was trying to refocus when things got like, especially on corners, it would seem like he's trying to refocus. I'm like, come on, dude, you can't. This is Premier League top level stuff. You can't be doing that.
He just has like this
So
blank stare in all those moments. Like he looks like but he's like it's like he's not looking at anything. It's like
yeah,
he's just. It's like when you're in like a seriously like embarrassing or a seriously scary situation. It's like you look intense, but you're not like not focused on anything like at all. You're flooded with all these thoughts and emotions, and you can't sort it out. Onana's got to do better. Lamens is like 40 kilos, 30 or 40 kilos lighter than Onana as well. So I think Onana is just a big dude, and that makes him really uncoordinated, really slow.
yeah.
He just looks awkward. So Laman's in, and then Diego Leon. I think people forgot we actually signed him earlier in the season, got him in. He is a youngster, but three and a half ish plus another 3.5 in add-ons. So 215-ish million total, 20-ish, 20 and a half potential add-ons. So potentially 236 minus the 100 or so 136 or so um, total outlay if you look at net spend. Basically replaced our entire front three of Garnacho, Rashford, and Hoyland with Cunha and Bumo and Shesko. Is that an upgrade in your eyes?
Front three, oh yeah, Oh yeah, especially Cunha. I mean, you've been hearing me even when we've been watching the matches. I'm like, oh, love Cunha. Oh, everything
Yeah.
he's doing, just the fire, the mentality. I keep mentioning he's giving me Cantona vibes, dude. He's giving me. That's why I wanted a collar on this shirt. I want him to be popping that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Cunha is definitely he understands. He gets it.
Oh yeah.
He definitely gets it. Let me get caught up on these chats, and then we'll go through
Yep.
each one of these guys real quick. You
Yep.
guys, make sure you like and make sure. Speaking of collars, I did just order on the 22-23 home shirt. I just picked up one of those today, so I got this year's third coming too. I got that from GoGoalShop. You guys, $5 off. Use the code in GoGoalShop. Um, Arcam, welcome back. Onana is the Bentner of goalies. More confidence in his abilities than or the Balotelli of goalies, right?
There you go.
Remember Balotelli? Oh my god, that dude's still kicking around, man. Buck says Onana when he tried to wind up Leon and nearly backfired. And Onana when he does blank and it nearly backfired is pretty much just a Mad Lib game that we can play whenever we want it. We could do it like an Onana Mad Lib. I'm gonna make a book. That's the book I'll write. That sounds
There
more
you
fun than the other one.
go.
Mbiz.01, welcome to the channel. Good to see a new face. Hopefully you're subscribed. Don't let someone try to gift a membership because that'll show me who the lurkers are. It says, we've seen Dubravka versus Burnley in the Carabao Cup make a mistake for us. Wan-Bissaka, Casemiro both flew to clear off the line, the defenders in the box. Yeah, the defending in the box has been garbage for years. Balls to the back post, set piece defense. It's because we don't have people with good mentality. Maguire's always like both ends of the pitch in both boxes. Maguire's constantly on the back foot when he's in the air. And that shows me a lack of assertiveness, a lack of intent. And that's why we never clear the ball. Shaw gets wrong side of people. Dallo doesn't close down the opposition player with the ball. It's just pick one. And Onana's glued to his line, and then when he does come off his line, he doesn't do anything besides punch the opponent. So
In the back of the
we're
head.
lucky he didn't concede one the other day. Like this is just as what it is, and it's not an Amorim thing. It's not a system thing. It's been like this for a while. I was hoping with 3 center backs maybe it would be different. Just throw bodies back there, but we've gotten worse somehow. So what are you gonna do? Bexy says Garnacho will get a tattoo on his face soon. Oh, he does strike me as someone who would do that.
100%.
And that's I'm not trying to like bash anybody who does that. I'm just saying he like when I think I'm like, yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. His brother is agent hard work. I mean, yeah, footballers and tattoos, man. I don't know what it is. Rob says Mbumo is his favorite signing. Nice.
I like Mbumo. I think it'd be good on that right side.
Bexy says Onana was bad before United. Yeah, Onana was actually the best keeper in that Champions League when Inter got to the final, but it just since he even struggled a bit at Ajax too, and then it was a worry that he got that doping ban while he was at Ajax too. That was pre-Ten Hag though, so didn't have anything to do with Ten Hag. Shesko, Dylan, what do you like about Shesko? What do you think he brings to this squad? Do you like the price? What do you like about it? Let me know what your thoughts are.
I do think there's a high upside for Shesko. I think he's a little more polished than Hoyland. He's definitely more athletic. You can see that. I mean, you saw that jump when he came on.
Yeah, when you're 6.5 feet tall, it definitely helps.
Yeah, and he was a foot and a half head taller than that other guy. I don't even remember the defender he jumped over. Yeah. But
if we just start spamming crosses in the box, if we had Trent Alexander-Arnold or something back him on this team, we'd probably scored like dozens.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and got to get him kicked on. He can dribble a little bit. He's got a nice little touch there at times. Yeah. And that little he had 3 defenders on him holding the ball, and he got through all of them. Yeah. At one point. I know it's one sample size. We have a very small sample size.
Yeah.
But I like what I've seen so far. We got to get him involved though. Otherwise, we're going to risk him being another Hoyland. And nothing against Hoyland. It's just that's what happened. He didn't get the chance to grow because he didn't get service. I don't want that to happen to Shesko.
We got to find him. Got to put a ball in the box.
Yep.
We have to get. It's the corner delivery that worries me. It's interesting that Bruno's no longer on corners, which I don't mind.
No.
But again, we got to find Shesko. So if we could do that, I'm not worried. He looks probably obviously being 6.5 foot tall helps, but he definitely knows how to get on the end of something in the box. So it's the other stuff, the system related stuff, the set piece stuff. That's day one stuff. That's the same no matter what. But get him in. This is why I wanted the business done early. Just get him in. He could have already been used to this.
100%. If we would have got him and Mbumo in earlier, that
Yeah.
I think that had, to whole attack looks better. I think we're starting to see glimpses of things that can happen. We have the international break to change some things here a
Yeah.
little bit, not much, but a little bit, and see what happens. So,
How about Mbumo? What do you like about him? What do you think he brings to the squad?
I'm liking the pace he puts on there. I think he's going to fit in both with Cunha, and I like the few times that he and Ahmad seem to get their runs right. They seem to
Yeah.
have some good link up play. I think the more they play, the better they'll be on the right, because it looks like
Yeah.
Mbumo is going to be the right sided 10 there for the most part.
Yeah. And they
And
can
if
kind
we
of interchange with each other too, which is nice to see.
exactly,
That touch he took from Bruno's ball the other day was a thing of
mm-hmm.
beauty. Just
Oh yeah.
boom, like just cushioned it,
Yeah.
took the defender almost completely out of the game, and it's like that was insane.
And he's getting into positions like that goal he scored against Burnley, where right after they had scored, when he's in the
Yeah.
box, he's in the right positions.
Yeah.
He's got that forwards mentality, and I think we've been missing that a little bit in terms of right positions, able to put it away. So he's gonna be good for us in the attack. Cunha and Mbumo operating there. I see Cunha more as the one getting those passes in
Yeah.
to Mbumo, but not that Mbumo can't do it either. So it's going to be nice to see that.
This front three false nine situation is interesting because I see so far. I mean, again, it's super early on, but so far I
Mm-hmm.
see pros and cons, at least from what I've seen. Right, some of the players, the cons, sometimes Cunha and Bumo, these guys are kind of taking up the same positions. They're kind of
Mm-hmm.
almost running into each other at times, which is a potential con of, it's the first time we played with like a false nine forever. We're not quite used. None of these guys are used to it. But I do see, like you're saying, pros because you got players who are good footballing IQ. Like Cunha can obviously take up that left 10, but that's where Mount was the other day. Cunha was almost doing like a Bruno role the other
Mm-hmm.
day, dropping deep, being a conduit for finding his teammates, being the link up guy. And it's nice that we've got multiple players who can do that in the side. If we get an injury, if Cunha's out or Mount's out, Bruno can slot into that false nine. You still
Yep.
got runners, you still got players who can play in those positions, which is good. We need versatile players. Some people are already writing Shesko off for some reason. I don't get that. Also, personally,
No.
he's played a couple matches and like he's literally just brand new to this. So, um, speaking of Cunha, what do you like about Cunha? What do you think Cunha brings to the squad?
Intensity, passion. He's got an ability to see the ball. He presses well. He's passing. He's still getting up to snuff because he's still getting all the kinks out with the new attackers. But we've seen it before that he'll do well with that. I just like what he brings to the table. He holds himself accountable for
Yeah,
doing the right things, and I know that he's going to hold others accountable. And we haven't had players like that in a long time.
yeah.
And so the mentality, the desire, is exactly what I want to see. So.
Dude, and some of his like one touch and his footwork,
Mm-hmm.
like what was that first match against Arsenal, man? Like fucking hell, dude,
Oh, yeah.
that was dirty. That was absolute filth. And he's done stuff like that a couple times now, just little back heels and stuff. That's that Brazilian flair, but he has the ability and the physicality and the mentality to when you marry that with that Brazilian flair, that Tekkers stuff, like
Yep.
that's the thing that Anthony had Tekkers, but he didn't have the physicality, he didn't have the
Yep.
mentality, and that's you have to. We don't have time now to try to accommodate. We can't say like, well, Anthony's got this, but he doesn't have all this. Let's get someone else who can play. Like we can't do
Yeah.
that anymore. Like you don't have to tick every box, but we have to start finding the players who
Yep.
tick more boxes than the ones that have been
Yeah.
ticking. And I like that what I've seen from Ineos so far. I think that the
Mm-hmm.
boxes that we failed to tick for many years in terms of player traits and qualities is mentality, is energy, is effort, aggression, leadership on the pitch. What I want to see from Cunha and Bumo, these guys, is what we didn't really see necessarily right off the bat from guys like Delit, Mazraoui. We saw it from Licha a little bit. Like just because you're not wearing the armband doesn't mean you can't be a leader. Doesn't mean you
Yeah.
can't call out your teammates. Doesn't mean you can't give orders. Doesn't mean you can't demand this and that or motivate people. Like we have so many leaders. They need to find their voice and whatever that
Yes.
looks like. And I hope that that's something that's being encouraged. So you like Cunha, you like Mbuma, you like
Mm-hmm.
Shesko. What about Lamans? How do you feel about that?
I think, and I get the feeling they're going to take it slow with him, not try to overwhelm him in the competition right away. So everybody, I think we're going to see Onana or Bayandir playing against City. I don't see Lama
Yeah.
starting.
That would be hard. I would still start. I don't even care.
Oh,
He's
I
got to
would
learn.
too.
He's got to learn either way at some
Yep.
point. He's 23. He's a couple years
Yeah.
older than De Gea was when we started De Gea. Like
Yeah.
he's like just he's got to learn at some point. I'm not saying like that's going
Oh,
to show me what I think, but like there is no like easy way to integrate people. Just fucking
no.
go, bro. Let's
If you're
do
good
this.
enough, you're old enough. So,
And he's a keeper.
but
It's not like you got to
yeah.
learn runs and shit.
Yeah.
Just stop the shots. Find your teammates, man.
I,
Um,
I'm liking the more like you were talking about earlier with the interviews, the settled and focused sense that I get from him
yeah,
that I don't get from Bayandir or Onana.
yeah.
And it's just nice to see that in the keeper. Hopefully, and I mentioned this in some of the notes, the 5 pages of notes I wrote everybody. um,
Dylan's a teacher. If
it's
you couldn't tell.
I didn't do this at work. Uh,
Do you write it on the chalkboard? Do you guys still
no,
have
but
chalkboards? Is that a thing?
we don't have chalkboards. But the kids did notice I was behind my computer a lot typing things today.
You look
but
like the most professional teacher ever. Then, really. Right. I see this guy. Literally, I see this guy editing the Google Docs during the day of school, and I'm like, this motherfucker is just. What the? I'm like,
it's like I'm
sorry
at
to
lunch,
put
just
you
like
on
I got to
blast
get
there.
this.
Yeah,
I
he's
was
on
like, I'm at lunch. I
right.
got to do this stuff. Yeah, love it.
Guys,
Um,
watch Planet Earth. I got work to do.
yeah, I have done that before. But but I think just him being more sure of himself, him being more, I think we're going to see somebody that's going to give the defensive line more confidence
Yeah.
that if they make a mistake, he'll cover them
Yeah.
a little bit more. And I think that'll help the defense too. Like with Onana, with Binder, you could see that they didn't really trust that if they made a mistake, that we there's no it's all on us. Like even I think with Lamans, you'll see the defense will play better because they won't feel um, as nervous about letting something happen.
Yeah.
So
And that's that O principle concept that I brought up a couple times. Onana's shortcomings, they spread like ripples in a pond
mhm.
because they impact everyone. Now Dalit, Mizraoui, these guys can't be so forthcoming with getting out, stepping out to do stuff. They can't leave too much, especially on set pieces or whatever, because they know that Onana's just not that. Now Lamans he's like the top one for crosses stopped. His save percentage is up there. He made the most saves last year out of like in like the top 10 leagues in Europe. Like he's an old school keeper. He's definitely, he said he watched a lot of Manuel Neuer, Thibaut Courtois, and he is definitely a little bit more of an old school, but he also does like he's comfortable with the ball at his feet. Now, I don't think he's comfortable in the same way you're going to see with someone like Onana. Like Onana's doing Cruyff turns under pressure in his own box, for fuck's sake. Like I don't think we're going to be seeing that shit, but I think he's definitely just more of a well-rounded, all-around keeper, which I think we just need to get back to that.
Mhm.
It's been like it's funny because football is getting to a place where, like we talked about a couple times, we want versatility. There's no more just like I'm a 6 or I'm an 8, but for some reason, keepers has been like, no, we're treating the keepers a lot like outfield players. Even Amorim is going to do that a little bit, but at the end of the day, give me a keeper who can make a save and who can command his box, and that's
Yeah.
all I really want. I don't really care if
Yeah.
it's someone from the academy, if it's Tom Heaton, or if it's Senna Lamans. Like, just get it done.
Well,
Um,
and that's something to think about. Vitek's playing well out on loan. If Lamans takes off, hey, that's a hell of a position to be in to have Vitek come in, have some confidence, maybe challenge for that spot. And Lamans already kind of has it.
yeah,
Maybe we have two keepers then. Maybe Vitek could be a bargaining chip or somebody just to push. So,
Vitek's doing stellar. He was in the team of the week for the championship. I
yep.
posted that, and I saw Statman Dave. No keeper in the championship has made more saves so far this season than Vitek. 19 shots on target face, 15 saves, 12 sweeper actions, 1.1 goals prevented. The kid's an absolute gem.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and this is part of why I'm like, if we're looking at Emi Martinez, are we just gonna use him as a stopgap for a couple seasons and then integrate Vitek, which I wouldn't necessarily have had a problem with, but I still wanted
Yeah.
Lamans. So,
Yeah.
um, interesting. So, I wonder. I know you talked about he's probably not going to start. I don't even know if I'm 100% sure that Lamans is going to be the starting keeper for. I mean, even Marmarashvili is sitting on the bench at Liverpool still, and they got him. He was a starter at Valencia for the last several seasons,
Yep.
and he's older than Lamans too. So I don't know if like what that's weird because Aaron Ramsdale, Nick Pope at Newcastle now, Trafford, Donnarumma at City now. Obviously, Arteta kind of started this whole nonsense with multiple like starting 11 worthy keepers. I don't think that's what we see, but we could still see Bindier and Onana leave, or one of them leave. I do think Onana. I saw Trabzonspor maybe links, but I don't know how like reliable those sources were. But and Diego Leon, any thoughts on Diego Leon?
I think he's going to come in. He'll be a rotation option for some certain games,
Yeah,
matches. I don't see him getting a lot of time, but he's 18, isn't he? If I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
correctly. He's going to, as long as he's in around the first team and helps build that character and learns from some of those guys, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he
Um,
played today against the PFA 11.
yeah,
Started at left back, so I don't have. Yeah, we all knew that was going. It was just I like that kind of signing. I like that kind of
yep,
thing. So
yep.
let me get caught up here. Yes, Rob, thank you. Please, guys, hit that like button, subscribe. Bexy says, and Boomo has great positioning. His experience really helps, something that Hoyland didn't do. Yeah, and that's not even a slight against Hoyland. That's just literally the difference between someone who's 26 years old and someone who's 21 years old. It's
Exactly.
just a lot of like any mistakes that I see like Lenny Euro make, a lot of the shit that I saw your or Hoyland doing, even Garnacho doing at times was stuff that I would expect from young players because it's just lack of experience. The kind of positioning that we saw from like Varane, Evans, and even Casemiro, that's because these guys are 30 plus years old. They know like they're a step ahead of everybody because they've seen it all. Um, Buck says skill and ability with the industry and work rate of Rooney is what we want from our attackers. I mean, is it too much to ask for, really?
Seriously.
Bexy says sadly the midfield is going to catch us out though. That's why I think we may not get Europe. Big shout. Casemiro, Ugarte, Manu aren't strong or athletic enough for that position. Yeah, I do. It's going to be hard to find a good midfield duo that works well, and I think that it's really going to be up to Amorim. That's going to be probably his toughest test this season, and you might almost see him switch it up even a little bit match by match unless he just really gets stubborn. I'd like to see him say, well, this team's going to sit back deep, this team's going to press, we need more mobility or something, and like to pick a pivot based on that, but I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see.
Mhm.
Bach says he's going to start Lamens versus City. He's got the right temperament in his opinion. Interesting. Danny agrees with you.
I
Maybe we
love
should
that.
have bought instead of buying Shesko, should have put that money in the midfield. Well, then that means we'd still have Hoyland here. And I don't think people. I mean, maybe you could have just thrown Xerxes as the nine. Xerxes could have just been we could have just been a full on false nine. But
Nine and a half.
um, yeah, go get your 9.5 shirt in the UVE store. You guys just missed out on the 25% off. That was a 1 day Labor Day sale only. So what you gonna do? Mark, welcome back. Mark says United would have been better getting Donnarumma and getting Lamens as his understudy. More strength there than just Lamens, who is unproven. Apparently, Donnarumma wanted a lot of money on wages, reportedly more than what Bruno's on. And you guys know, I don't. We're trying to get away from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I put up Donnarumma's numbers over the last 4 seasons and stacked them up to Son Lamens in this last year, and they're just not as good. Donnarumma is definitely on a little bit of the decline. He's a little bit overpaid, and I just not all about that. But we'll see. It's City, so I mean, God forbid Pep doesn't get any player he wants, right? So, um, Bexy wants to know what I start Lamens. I'm just going to start him no matter what. At this point, he's better. He's better than Onana and Bayindir. Like,
You
just
said,
start him.
I believe you said your grandmother would be better in that
Yeah,
than
my
Onana.
grandmother has got a cane. Even if she just got blasted in the head by a ball, she'd still do a better job than Onana keeping it out of the back of the net. Like, I love you, Grandma, but fucking hell, this is insane, dude. Fuck. Woman can't use an iPad, but she would do better than Onana in goal. Oh, Grandma, we love you. Is that an internet? Yep, it is, Grandma. Good job. Let's see. Mbiz says he's like Vicario signing that Spurs made. We just need a keeper that does a good job. We don't need a specialist yet. I don't need someone who's
That's
good at
fine.
the ball. I don't even like people thought we got Onana because of his passing lanes. It's not why we got Onana. Onana is under Ten Hag. This building out from the back was basically the keeper is like another outfield player almost, someone who can just carry the ball out a little bit and who can kind of initiate. The keeper is not just the person who gives it to the defender, and then the defender starts that build-up. The keeper is the one who starts the build-up because they are good on the ball. That's basically what modern football is now. Percentage-wise, it's supposed to be better as far as possession and whatnot. I still don't like it because it's very player-specific. If you don't have every little piece of that thing, that system working, it does fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I agree with you, Ambiz. Andreas, welcome back. Without a good goalkeeper, the entire team suffers. So Lamans will improve the entire team if he plays as well as I think he will. Well, we are going to be Dylan and I are going to be sharing our preferred starting 11s for the upcoming season. So you guys get yours involved as well because Dylan they're pretty similar besides one little difference. So yes, Danny B. VTech is a beast. I love me some VTech.
Oh, yeah.
Fox, Allison, yeah. You guys are having a little chit chat here, so let's see what we got here. Gundawan, yeah, big up Jarvis. Good to see you, man. How are you doing? He says, "Why has the U.S. traditionally produced so many great goalkeepers? Is it more about mentality, or does it come from the kids playing catch from an early age?" Do we produce so many good goalkeepers? We've had what? I mean, Tim Howard probably.
Was it Friedel?
Brad Guzan, Brad Friedel.
Bruzon, yeah.
Those are the ones you're going to see in the in the Premier League and whatnot. I can't think of a
Yeah.
whole lot of others American goalkeepers.
Matt Turner.
Nat Turner, yeah, there you go. Um, trying Mitch Hildebrand. I mean, I'm just gonna shout that out. He was the goalkeeper I mentioned the other day who was on the board with me at Livonia City. He played for Chicago Fire for a little while. No, not Chicago Fire. Sorry. He saved the Bastian Schweinsteiger pen in a shootout in MLS. So that's why. Yeah, I can't think of Jarvis. Who else are you talking about? Because I can't. Tim Howard. I mean, in the 2014 World Cup was an absolute force of nature. But the memes were flying, and after that World Cup, man, I found a meme of him diving to save Ned Stark from getting beheaded.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane.
They changed it on Wikipedia where he's the Secretary of Defense.
Nice.
That was awesome.
That's awesome. Big up, Jarvis, man. Good to see you again, dude. Hope you're doing well. Bexy says Ugarte needs to show me more ASAP. I think he could improve, but he needs to be focused. If he could just work on his ball retention and like his press resistance, I don't need to see him picking out through balls and breaking the lines. I don't need to see him like Cruyff turning people. Just hold the ball a little better under pressure and just play smarter passes. What were you saying?
And don't shoot from 40 yards out.
Yeah, right. I don't even care if he fouls people and like gives away a foul. All like that's fine. That happens sometimes. It's gamesmanship at certain points in the match. But like he just looks like he's just like all bollocks, no brain sometimes, dude. It's just, which I don't necessarily have a problem with, but you got to be better than that. So, Brad Guzan, Keller, there you go. Casey Keller, yeah, don't forget about Casey Keller. This is a long time ago. Tim Howard, man. Timmy Howard's probably the one that sticks out more than anybody. I mean, the guy is just a legend. Scored a goal for Everton. If you guys remember that. The wind definitely caught it, but was Bosnich American, Dylan?
I think he was.
Was he? Let me see. You guys, he's Australian, so internet, it's right there. Yeah, so Diego Leon definitely one for the future. He looks an absolute unit, though. Interesting stuff, though. So we obviously had our what was your transfer priority going into this summer?
We didn't get my transfer priority was central midfield. Because I would have rather. That's a good one. You should really make that.
Just saying. I got another one that I just put out that I got to get approval for. But yes, I'm gonna make a note of that box. Yeah. I'll put it right up there with fix up or fuck off.
Oh, dude. Dude, you keep getting these bangers. I'm gonna be broke.
Go ahead. Sorry, dude.
But anyway, central midfield was what I wanted because I wanted. Maybe we knew the attack wasn't very good, so yeah, having an attack, some attackers come in would have been better. But having that central midfielder to start the attack, somebody to provide some shelter for the defense, like it's a central defensive mid to come in there, read tactically where to go, get in the right spots, maybe start the attack, get it to your playmakers like Bruno or Mount or someone like that. That to me was something I think we needed more so. I'm not upset we got attackers. Like I really like who we picked up. It's just that's where I would have started.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and I remember I did that vote several months ago, that poll on the channel, and pretty much everybody, it was almost a landslide. Everybody wanted to clear the deadwood. That was my priority. Goalkeeper was definitely a big priority for me. You guys know I've been done with Onana for a while. I was at that Galatasaray match, and that was one of the most horrific. I could feel just the fucking disappointment from the whole crowd in that match. It was tangible. Center midfield, obviously, when we've broken down the midfielders we've broken down the midfield priorities, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
not worked. Looking at the poll that I put out today, is there a position United neglected to strengthen this summer? 76% of you say center midfield. 18% of you say left wing back. 6% say center back. Nobody said right wing back. I know everybody was all over Giovanni Quinda, Roger Fernandez, but nobody voted right wing back. Interesting stuff. So yeah, like you, center midfield. But I do think clearing the deadwood,
Yeah.
to me, that's kind of like you play pool. So it's like the obvious shot, the easiest shot is not always the best shot to make in that
Yep.
moment. Sometimes it's about, sacrificing a little bit,
Positioning.
positioning, getting yourself
Yep.
best set up. And that's why you guys watch pool. It takes a while for these guys to take a shot because they're looking they walk around the table a little bit, they look around a little bit. Sometimes it's kind of like Liverpool getting all these strikers because they saw maybe next year Barcelona might be looking at someone. And I
Mm-hmm.
do think that clearing that deadwood, I think now, even if we didn't bring in as many, I mean, you can't get everything finished in one window, obviously. Clearing up the deadwood now could put us in a good position, even in January. So we'll
Yep.
come back to that in a little bit. Um, so I got a couple more questions, and then we're gonna do the ratings. So you guys, make sure you guys get your ratings in as well. Who is your signing of the summer for us still?
Cunha.
Yeah,
Cunha's my guy. I'm riding that. Just everything about him is he's the exact player I love to watch. A little
yeah.
fire in him, a lot of energy, that don't give a fuck attitude. Like, it's just great. So yeah,
Yeah,
Cunha. I know
it's
it's not going to
definitely
be everybody's favorite, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely a toss up for me between Cooney and Mbumo. I think they're almost interchangeable a little bit. I think Mbumo's got that kind of quiet strength, and Cunha's got that fire, and so I think they work pretty well
Hmm.
together. They're basically the same position, so I like them both. They're good signings. Two of the best attackers in the Premier League the last couple of years,
Hmm.
and I think that was really good. I just like that kind of part of it as well. Like, let's just get these good signings from the
Yep.
league. Danny wanted a midfielder and a keeper. Yeah, definitely. I do like that a lot. So Mbiz says, remember we were linked to Wharton, Sanderberga, those players, but guess what? Amorim doesn't want. He wants runners. The reason why we're linked with Conor Gallagher. I mean, again, we're linked with Conor Gallagher. We'll see. I mean, again, it's not all Amorim as well. It's no longer going to be, 10 hogs here and he just decides everything. Ineos are not really doing that anymore. And so,
Hmm.
um, let's see. Danny says, Box says, I'm hoping goalkeeper has been such a weak area will be a platform to build up. I hope so, dude. Who do you, so not just United, but maybe for the whole league deal, and who you think was the signing of the summer for Premier League clubs?
It's going to be a weird one, but it's based on the last 3 weeks, just the things I've seen. Jack Grealish at Everton.
Is that just by what he's
He's
been doing?
he's coming. He looks happier too, and this is for him. Like I think he's done really well with Everton, but he looks like a new person. Like he finally got out of that party boy stage. I
Well,
think
it's about
having,
time.
yeah, right.
It's like
I
30
think
years old.
Everton was a good move to get out of that environment where he was kind of trapped in there.
Yeah,
Um, he looks a lot better. So just for him, I think Everton are going to do well because he's going to help provide some dynamism on the left. Um, so good. That'll be good for them.
yeah.
Definitely, that's my signing of the summer.
Mine's probably obvious, but I mean, it's Isak to Liverpool. I mean, that's got to be. It's like you're getting like the best striker in the league, basically, in his prime. I mean, it's hard. I mean, they're like if they would have gotten Mark Gay as well. I mean, this would have been a freaking
It's
like
over.
they've spent a lot this summer, but you can't argue that they didn't. Like, I mean, again, probably still Coutinho money. It's funny to me that they waited till Jurgen Klopp to leave before they started going on this spending spree because he famously was like, if we start spending that kind of money, I'll leave. So
Hmm.
they're like, bye Norbert, we'll do this. Um, so who was the signing that who was the one that got away for you? Anybody we were linked with, anybody that we were in for that we didn't get. Maybe somebody that, even if it's just a tentative link, is there anybody that is the one that got away for you?
Baleba would have been nice. I think that would have been
Yeah,
one that would have been nice. Obviously, the real answer is Hayden Hackney.
yeah, it's true.
No, Baleba was the one that I was like, it's not the right move, but oh man, if we would have got him, that changes a lot of things about our team.
Yeah,
So
it was expensive, but it would have been. I think it would have been if you're going to play Bruno in the six, that probably would have been one of the best
yeah,
options next to him.
100%.
Um, For me, it's he who shall not be named, because you guys know I'm going to ride that motorcycle until it runs out of gas. He who shall not be named. Yes, the links came and went a couple times. You guys know who it is. If you know, you know. If you have to ask, you'll never know. He who shall not be named was definitely the one that got away from me. He's an absolute filthy baller. Are there any players that we were heavily linked to, or we were definitely in for, that you're glad that we didn't sign?
Um, Not Baleba. I think we pretty much had our transfer priorities, and
Yeah.
that's who we went for, who we got. I mean, obviously we did better than Newcastle because we beat them to a punch in a couple of these
A lot of people beat them to a lot of things. They
signings.
went a little crazy there towards the last couple of weeks, though. Honestly, um, for me, it's definitely Emmy Martinez. I agree with Andreas here. I'm glad that we didn't get Emmy
Yeah,
Martinez. No,
yeah.
that's nothing personal. I
No.
just don't think he's as good as people say. I think people are still. It's kind of like I call it the Kieran Trippier effect. For some reason, people always want to look at World Cups from like 3, 4 years ago as the reference point for these players. People on Sirius, ESPN FC, and whatnot, they'll still go on about Kieran Trippier, and the only thing they say about him is like, "Oh, that free kick for England." I'm like, that
Hmm.
was like 6 years ago, bro. What the fuck? Like, let's chill out, guys. Like, Emmy Martinez, cool. You won a World Cup with Argentina. You've been not as good for Villa these last couple of years. So I'm glad we didn't get him.
Yeah. I
Um,
see. For me, and this is just my how I took the whole thing. Once we had those Lamans links, all the Martinez stuff just felt like
yeah.
they're just it's just posturing. We're trying to get the deal done, and if it doesn't work, I guess we'll get it. So it just never really felt real to me. I guess that's more why I was looking at. Like, did,
Again, he's better than Onana. He's better than Bindier, but not by much. He's actually worse than Onana in a lot of statistics. But at the same time, I probably would have preferred him. I'm just glad we didn't end up getting, because I wanted Lamans a lot. So
Mhm.
um, it's interesting stuff. How do you how do you compare this summer to Ineos's first summer, where we got Ugarte, Yoro, Delit, Mazraoui, and Xerxes? That was a big summer a year
Mhm.
ago. How do you compare this one to that one in terms of just quality, in terms of spending, in terms of just, does this move us forward a little bit more than last summer?
It definitely moves us forward more than last summer. I think last summer was more of a reset to get certain players in to try to definitely play Ten Hag style because they were Ten Hag was still the manager. Um, I think most of those players were actually good for the value. Ugarte still needs to show us something.
Mhm.
Xerxes maybe not as good what we thought he was going to be, but he's a player that could be a good squad addition. We've seen what Maz and Delict can do. I mean, they're quality additions in terms of defensive solidity. I think this
Yeah,
one will probably end up being better over time. We just haven't seen enough. That's the hard part. We were only 3 games into the season, um,
yeah,
and so the more we see of it, I think the more we'll see that this has been a better window in terms of the attacking talent. And if Lamans especially turns out well, that's going to be a huge
yeah. I need him to get
shift.
minutes for sure.
Yes.
He just has to. I mean, if Onana's fit and he's not even playing ahead of Bindier, then surely you got to think that spot is open, like
Yeah.
it's there for the taking. Do you agree with Mark Goldbridge that Newcastle had a better transfer window than us? I saw that he had posted something earlier, said we had a better window, considering the players that they brought in.
Wait, we had a better window than
No, they
Newcastle?
had a better window. Mark Goldbridge alleges that Newcastle had a better window than we did.
Really?
Yeah. So they got Wissa, Waltermaid, Alanga. Guys, help me out. Who else? They got Malik Tiaw from AC Milan as well. They brought in um, Ramsdale as well. There's another player. I forget who now. You guys help me out. Who they brought in over there? I'll look them up. Hold on. Newcastle.
I mean, just based on who they are, I'm not totally sold on Voltamon. Vissa, I'm interested to see how he fit that system.
Waltermut is a lot of money. 85 million
Yeah,
euros for this
yeah.
kid. Alanga, Wissa,
So
Jacob Ramsey, Malik Tiaw, Aaron
yeah,
Ramsdale. And that's,
I
I
think
mean,
Ramsey and Alonga, I think will be fine.
they
I
spent
think
a
they'll fit
lot.
in
They
all right.
spent literally 145, 146 million on
Yeah,
Waltermut and Anthony Alanga alone.
yeah,
And 50, dang, they spent a lot in the last couple of days of the window. That's crazy.
yeah.
Let me get caught up on the chat here. Bexi's not 100% sold on Baleba. Interesting. Danny, everyone's getting their predictions in here. You guys are funny. Danny says Ramsdale could say was pretty even. Ramsey, yeah, that's the one I was trying to remember who they got here. So, so you don't agree that Newcastle had a better window?
No, I think they'll be okay. I definitely think they're going to drop back this year.
Oh yeah,
Um, yeah, they're gonna struggle for a little while because they've got a fair amount of their team. I mean, Isak going is going to hurt more than they think, and it's going to take Voltamad a bit to get going. I don't really know what this is going to do because he fit Brentford's system a lot better.
yeah.
So I don't understand. But
This is
hey,
like this season of
yeah,
expensive backups, man. Whether it's keepers
yeah,
or strikers. I mean, Liverpool have 2 strikers. They spent a ton on. Newcastle now as well. Keepers. It's been insane. You can't replace Isak just overnight. Is Anthony Gordon
yeah,
out for a while?
yeah. I think he's out for 4 months.
So yeah,
So
that's so
oh
you're
wait,
probably gonna what you're probably gonna see is guys like Woltemade and whatnot playing in wider roles now and then.
yeah. So
Um,
I'm not sure, but it's Gordon's injured, right? It's not the red card thing.
no, I think he's injured. He
Yeah,
got an
yeah.
injury.
I could have swore it was the 4 months I saw he was going to be out. So
Danny says we probably edge it if you put us up against Newcastle. We probably edge it. I think that like you're saying earlier in the stream, it has to more to do for me like with us just taking all the players. Everybody taking all the players that Newcastle were in
hmm
for. You can't look at that and say that Newcastle did good because it definitely
no,
didn't seem like they got they got who they wanted. Fox Gordon, right? I thought he was injured. Am I just imagining that?
let me look that up. I knew he got red cards, but I could have swore he also got injured.
Yeah, he got injured, and then he definitely got injured. Ankle issue looks like. Yeah, this is what you're going to see. That a lot of times with players like Grealish, players like Gordon, they're going to get kicked around a lot. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, so now time for the big question. So, transfermarket.com gave us a B plus in terms of grading all the Premier League clubs' transfer windows, which was 7th in their listing. Um, so, what if you had to give us a rating 1 out of 10? You guys get involved in the chat, rating our window, our transfer business, ins, outs, all of it, however you want to rate it. 1 out of 10. One being no, that was shit. What were we doing? 10 being like perfect. We are perfectly set up, like awesome. What would you give us, Dylan? What would you give us a rating?
Going to give us just for improving attacking. I think that's going to help us. I would have given us like a 5 or 6 just from that. I think the Lamans moves us up a little bit. I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. Um, it's a little bit of a generous 7 out of 10 because the central midfield is still
Yeah.
that scares me. But 7 out of 10 is where I'm going.
It's that teacher's central tendency picking the C's.
Yep.
70. Yeah, I'm definitely going with a 6. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I agree with Box. Mbiz agrees with you, Dylan. 7 out of 10. Rob's giving it a 7 out of 10. I give it a 6 because again, obvious no central midfield. To me, that it's not just about like, oh, I think we're fine. It makes me worry a little bit when you look at how specific these players need to be for the system, and you look at what we have, and you have to think that either Amorim or Ineos did not see that these players don't really fit. That's a worry to me, almost on a larger
Mm-hmm.
scale thing. And then again, like I said, I'm happy with the signings. They're all very good signings. But again, my biggest issue, literally the only demand aside from goalkeeper as my priority, my only demand going into this window was not to do business slowly. Get it done before the preseason.
Yep.
Get these players in, and we didn't do it. We got one player in
Yep.
early, and so it knocks off a couple of points for me for sure. Um, so it's definitely I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 here. I thought transfer market. I mean, they're looking at a lot of financials. They're being a little generous. So we got a couple of 6s. Danny's giving it a 5.5 to 6 out of 10. Andreas is giving it a 7 out of 10. Danny's changed his mind from 0.5. He's just going 6. F it. All right, I like that one. Yeah, and like Box makes a big point, not shifting some of these other guys out permanently or not moving it on late. Again, I don't know Casemiro or Onana were ever on the priorities in terms of let's get these guys out right away. I think that was more of a if we get an offer kind of a
Mhm.
thing. But let's see. If we would have gotten some of that stuff early, it would have been a lot easier. I don't worry too much about Malacia because he's not really paid a lot. So Danny says if we had everyone in the sold by preseason, it would have pushed. If we had signed all these players before we went on preseason tour, I would have pushed that to like an 8 easily because that way we wouldn't have seen like the first couple matches where Mbeumo looks like he's just maybe not quite fit enough. Shesko probably would be starting regularly now and stuff. That's why we do it early. So
Mhm.
I'm going with a 6. You're going with a 7. We'll call it a 6.5. Because everyone seems to be saying the same thing. We'll call it a 6.5. So the United versus everybody community has spoken. 6.5 out of 10. Is that how you feel about that in general? Just
That works for me.
six
I
and a
think a
half
lot
out
of
of
the
10.
I think a lot of the things we've talked about tell us it was a good window, but it wasn't a great window. We're not
Yeah,
Liverpool and side just have all the money in the world or Chelsea.
yeah.
So
You could argue that this was probably the first summer of a proper rebuild with a
yes,
manager that Ineos handpicked, a manager that's kind of the face of this rebuild.
yep,
Um, and so
yep.
it's a step in the right direction, like Bach says, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of clearing the deadwood. We got a lot of problem personalities out, which is huge for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of revamped that attack. Now these guys are not, probably people will probably point to not getting money for Bruno. Maybe that could have made a difference. I don't know, but which team do you think won the transfer window in the Premier League?
It's got to be Liverpool.
Yeah,
Um, just based on
even
what they've
without
done.
Margay, they still win, right?
Yeah, it's just they did. I mean, they sold well and they bought well. And I hate saying it
Mm,
because it's Liverpool, but
yeah,
kudos to them for what they did there. That's good.
yeah, they
Uh,
got a lot of the best talent from they got Frimpong, Kirkes, Vert. I still think Verts is a bit way overpriced. Personally,
oh yeah.
Ekitike way overpriced. They probably paid double for what they should have for those guys. If you're being all completely honest, Izak is probably the biggest thing they could have done. That's
Mhm.
insane. I think by the end of the season, if we come back and Sunderland and Burnley have stayed up, then I might. I mean, both signed 14 players. If they don't get relegated, that's a huge win for them, especially Sunderland. That's been a long road back for Sunderland. Um,
Can I just say I'm super happy that they're back. Stadium of Light's back.
I just
That's
like
a
seeing the
proper
Stadium of Light.
stadium that should have been in the Premier League before that,
Yeah,
or before how long they've been out. So
they struggled. That's that new owner
uh,
that they've got. That
yeah.
young kid, man. He's like,
Mhm.
what is he like? 30, early late 20s, early 30s. I don't even
Yeah.
understand how that even happens, but fucking hell. Have you ever watched the Sunderland Till I Die on Netflix?
No, but I want
Oh,
to.
it's a good series. Yeah, there's some back when I back when I was doing my blog thing, I did a one blog post was like TV shows and movies, like football stuff that people should watch. And that was one of them. There's a lot of them out there if you guys don't know. You
Mhm.
guys can go find. If you look up the old links I put to the scouting stuff, you can look on that. You'll find them. There's a lot. Danny, I cannot remember what we rated last. I think that was Justin was here. You might have to go watch that one. I don't remember what we rated that one. To be honest with you, that was a while ago. Sorry, I wish I could remember off the top of my head. So, Danny says Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea won the transfer window. Which team lost the transfer window for you, Dylan?
I got a couple of them. Brentford, to
Yeah,
me, they losing Vissa and Bumo definitely going to hurt. Losing Thomas Frank to Palace, I think.
losing Wissa.
Yep, that's gonna be big. I mean, they got a new coach in there. He seems like he's doing okay, but I mean, he just all they did was beat Villa, and Villa have not done. Villa is another loser in my book. They didn't really do. Talk about ultimate panic move that you signed the little bitch that is Sancho as your last
Yeah.
minute signing, and oh god,
We couldn't
just
keep
that's
Rashford. What's the next best thing? Oh, we'll get
yeah,
Sancho. Well, how about that?
Sancho. So yeah, so I have Brentford. I've got Villa. I mean, screams desperate, and Villa are in Europe too. So that's the other
Yeah,
thing.
not for
I don't
long.
know where they. No, I think Wolves definitely are going to have struggle. I don't. They didn't add much.
Oh, I forgot that
So,
they sold Norgard too. He went to
oh
Arsenal.
yeah,
Fuck's sake, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So they're
Brentford's a good shout for me. I'm definitely going with Bournemouth. just
Really,
because their
they
entire
lost so
back
many.
line just got
Yeah.
demolished, like absolutely demolished. They don't look very good at all. Obviously, I think Truefair is a good left back. He's not Kirkes though.
Yeah.
They to lose Zabarnia and Hausen in the same summer is just a huge blow. And they really need, in my opinion, to do better with who they brought in as well. That's rough. And I worry about Areola. I think we're going to talk a little bit about that in a second. We're going to go through manager sack race predictions here, Sue. But yeah, I'm going to go Bournemouth. Brentford's definitely a good shout, though. That's I said it early on in the summer when they got rid of Thomas Frank and they're selling all these players, and the guy they got in, Keith Andrews, I think is his name. It's not even like a coach. He's like a assistant coach or something like. And I worry a little bit about that. So,
Mm-hmm.
3 billion spent from the Premier League this summer, 30% more than the previous record. Liverpool spent this summer was 460 million pounds, which is two times more than our record spend during any transfer window that Liverpool spent this summer, which is insane.
But they're not going to get any shit for that, are they?
Oh no, they better win
Yeah.
though. They will if they don't win anything. Are you worried that even though we've spent a bit of money, that over just the neglect has just put us almost too far behind that we might never be able to catch up unless something catastrophic happens, like not like people dying, but just like Liverpool falling off a cliff or something? Are you worried that just overall that we're always going to be just too far behind to catch up, just from what's happened over the last couple decades?
I think it's definitely going to affect us um, because Glazers obviously were shit owners, still are shit owners. They have no idea how to run the team, how to run a sports team like this. I think for the next several years we're going to be too far behind. I think we
Mm.
still have the pull, we still have that generational sort of uh, influence that's going to help us for all. But we got it. This one has to be right for us to get back. Otherwise, yeah, we're too far.
Yeah.
We're too far gone.
We're way far behind, but a couple of just, I think, really good windows could kind of get us ahead of where we should be. It could kind of see us maybe gain a little ground, but it's hard, man. Just I think it's not even just about any one thing. It's just the fact that there was never a plan. Like
Yep.
we've even if we've like Rashford said it best, honestly. Like what he said in that interview the other week was spot on. Like people keep talking about rebuilds and this and that, but it hasn't never started until maybe just now because of the fact that it was every couple of years new manager, and even under those managers, it never really felt like a rebuild.
Yep.
You can argue maybe a little bit with Ten Hag, but that maybe just was not a good fit, and that's been the problem. We looked for this one manager, this one player. That's it, and it just wasn't. It just really wasn't. They thought that David Moyes could come in and just take right over, and it would be just fine with Fellaini on deadline day, and it just wasn't going to happen. And Liverpool stuck to their guns. Arsenal have been sticking to their rebuild. City, I mean, it's Pep. It's been 12 years or so of doing that. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but you guys, let me see which side. Danny says now we're way too far behind. Yeah, I think that we're way far behind, and even teams like Newcastle and stuff are overtaking us now because of just the way that they're just going about their business. Buck says Arsenal have the best squad in the league. Well, it's funny they have the best squad in the league and still finish second, so that's probably what's going to. Arsenal literally never concerned me at all. At all. Spurs have won more under since Arteta's been there than fucking um than Arsenal, man. That's freaking annoying, dude. All right. Now we're gonna look at our what we picked for our best 11s, you guys. So make sure you like and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you guys get your preferred 11s as we go into this season. Now, yours and mine are different, but I think yours and mine are different under because of one very, I guess, simple but important caveat. And it sounds like yours and mine are different. And looks like you're kind of operating under the if everyone is fit kind of thing.
Yep.
So this is Dylan's preferred starting 11. Walk us through your mindset here, Dylan.
All right. Starting in the back, we're going to have Lamans because that has to be a no-brainer at this point. I mean,
Look, I didn't have to use
yeah.
Fred the Red anymore. Look at that.
Hell, Fred the Red would have done better. Just put the suit in the goal. The goal and stop.
Yeah.
But Lamans, well, I think will come. We talked about him. He looks calm. He looks composed. I think he's going to help guide that back line and be somebody that's definitely going to be an upgrade over who we have in terms of Onana and Binder. Looking at the back three, again, like Sean was saying, I'm operating under the fact of people being healthy. So that's why Leach is there. And he comes in because he was one of the better looking players when we had when Amorim was first started. You could see he was doing well in the system. I think he's got a little bit of that grit and tenacity that we need on that back line, especially on that left side because Shaw's just not doing it. Shaw just doesn't seem interested. I think Heaven's definitely the future for that position and will contend with Martinez in the future. But Licha will take that spot. I think Delict will come in. He's done a good job marshaling that center part. I like what he adds there. I think he's more vocal. The big thing for me, he seems more vocal than Harry. And it's not all the time, but I've seen him be more vocal than Harry in terms of what's going on with that
I
back
think he's
line.
definitely more captain material than Maguire, personally.
Definitely. And then this one was hard. The right center back was hard because I wanted to put Maz, but I think as we go on, I think as we get more comfortable with the system, Lenny will definitely take that spot. He's for the future. I've liked what I've seen. You've mentioned it several times. The mistakes we're seeing from Lenny are mistakes that young players make, and the more experience he gets, the better he'll do. He'll tighten that up. Going to the wingbacks, Dorgu definitely seems like the one for me. Dallo doesn't do enough in terms of offering on the attack. And even defensively, I think Dorgu will get better at that. He's young. He's 20. He's going to learn. So again, this will be a year that's going to be full of pain, but it's going to be full of growth. And then Ahmad, same sort of thing. Attack, once he figures out how to kind of move with Mbumo and some of the other attackers, I think he's going to do really well. Defensively, he's got to improve. And if he works at improving defensively, he can solidify that right wing back role. Center mids, kind of wanted to put Mount here and take Bruno out just for pressing purposes. But at the end of the day, I was like, we need the passing to get those attacks started sometime. So Bruno takes the left side, Casemiro takes the other side. Kind of what we have right now. That's why I was very adamant that we should have improved the central mid. Not that they're not good players. It's just they don't necessarily fit that area. And then you guys still there? Well, if you guys are, I put the attacking three. Just we talked about those three being attacking options. So I hope I'm still connected. All right, guys, floor is mine. Now it's time. This is the Dylan show now. Anyway, let me see if I can share my screen. I just wanted to make sure. Sean must have had power knocked out with the storm coming in. That's the one thing he did warn us out. Just the last part on that attacking three. We'll see more as they get more, as they start to get more used to playing with one another, as they get more cohesive. That attacking three is going to be a lot better. So just more things to think about with that. Let's take a look here and see if I can share anything. I bet you I can. But let me just check real quick, guys. Bear with me. All right. I'm also struggling, so it appears the storm is causing problems in my end. All right, so unfortunately, guys, we're just waiting on Sean. If you have anything to say in the chat, we can open it up here. I cannot get mine to load either because apparently the internet is just trying to be a problem. Definitely like the Mount being the squad option. I definitely see him when we get going for certain, especially if we get back to like we had with Sir Alex, where you chop and change players to go in And for certain situations, you want more pressing, you want more speed, you need more of the passing, you put Bruno in, you need the pressing, you put Mount in. I think if you move him back to the 6, that'll work well. He can also operate as the false 9 if you want to change, like we've seen, to change the formation as well. You can change out Ahmad to come in off the bench. He can operate as the 10. We can put Maz on the right for the right wing back. So it's just going to be just going to see what happens there. Great shout out, Adrian C. With Sancho is the AB of football. Me as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I really feel that. So, so I hope I can 100% see where you're going for.
Jeez, am I back?
You are back. I'm taking over the show, man. So
Sorry. Literally, my internet just went out for like a hot second. It's not even that bad weather. Sorry about that, everybody.
Well, you're saying that I was trying to get your lineup put up here, and I couldn't even get my stuff to load. So it's just been like the chat room
going
on right
Sorry
now.
about that, guys. I'm happy that it came back without incident, but fuck. I mean, all right. Did you get through your 11 at least?
Yeah, I got through my 11. We've just been chatting. Box
Awesome.
wants to change leadership on this channel.
That's messed up, dude. Traitors, all of you. Box has got 11. I'm going to put his 11 on the screen. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know. Like, the internet just went out for some odd reason. No idea what happened there. The Ericsson show. I like that. We're going to start calling it that. Yeah, so it's pretty much the same 11 as me. Sorry I didn't get to listen to all of it. So here's my 11. Basically the same. You went with that caveat of if Leach is fit. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of going at it right now. It's kind of looking at it like Shaw and Mount, where I don't know if I can count on him being fit.
Yeah.
And so for now, I'm working with what I have. I'm working with what we have right now, and it's Leach's job to kind of get back fitness. So with that in mind, obviously the big only difference is the back 3, and I've actually put Yor on the left-hand side, and I've started Mazraoui on that right-hand side. I've started Lamans right away. I just throw him in, let him do his thing. Yeah. You guys are all traitors, by the way. Absolute traitors, man. All of you. So it's basically everything you said about midfield and everything, but I can't at this point. It's not that I think Leach is injury prone. I have to see how he responds to this ACL. He's back training, from what I've heard, so we'll see if he can get back up to it. If he picks up another injury, though, then I think that pretty much shows us what we can expect from him, right? Like, probably not going to work out anymore at that point.
Yeah, he's going to need to move on. And I apologize if my cat gets in the way, guys. You might see some cat tail and stuff.
Dylan got himself a new cat here. Look at that. Just found it last week.
She found me.
Wow. If that doesn't like just get you any girl when you tell that story, like, fuck, when she found me. Woo! Dylan just risen up. Every girl is watching this channel right now, man. Look at that. But Mbiz likes this side. Mbiz says he's been struggling to defend in wide areas this time. He's also short. Oh, what is this, Jamie Carragher? I don't have a problem with Leach's height. He's shown that he can handle it. Leach is actually, like I said, you guys know I love Leach. I think in terms of this system, the way him building out from the back, being comfortable on the ball. I mean, you guys remember last season before he got injured, he was scoring goals. He was picking out Hoyland's runs. He was driving the ball up the pitch. He's comfortable on the ball. He is the most adept-looking center back for this system that we have. I have to see if he can get back and be fit. Then who knows, man? Maybe Ahmad gets pushed to the bench. Maybe Mazraoui gets put to that right wing back spot. Who knows? Yep. But it could almost go anywhere now. It says you can't be short and slow. Well, he can. He's shown that he can. I mean, he's actually pretty good. And I'm still waiting for Jamie Carragher to apologize for writing him off so soon, man. He's an absolute baller. So, yeah.
But do we really listen to Jamie Carragher? Because I don't.
I mean, it's hard to hear if he's saying anything with how much spitting he's doing. But, hey, it is what it is. Complete prick. Did you hear what he said the other day, that Amorim would have been sacked if he wasn't as good looking as he is? Like, fuck off, dude. Seriously. Would you say the same about Jurgen Klopp for the first, 4 fucking years he was at Liverpool? Get fucked, Jamie Carragher. Seriously, I can't stand that guy.
Can we make a twat list and just be like Sancho, Garnacho, Jamie Carragher?
Jamie Carragher, literally everybody on ESPN FC, Talksport, Sky Sports, Mbiz. He can't do the job physically. He freaking bodied Adama Traore last season, brother.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he did.
Absolute bodied him. You saw him pushing around Mo Salah in his first derby. He's an absolute beast. I'm not having any Leach slander. Um, so that's the 11s. Both pretty much similar. Only you guys get your 11s is. So I'm gonna go back up to what Box said in his 11s. I want to go through his real quick. I put it up on the screen. So Box is going with Euro, Lemons, Euro, Delit, Martinez, Ahmad, Menu, Fernandez, Shaw. Where's Shaw play in that one? In midfield? You
Left
have
wing
Shaw.
back.
Oh, he's got him at left. Oh, he's got it set up a little weird. So we're taking out Dorgu, huh? Interesting. Dorgu, I thought, has been the most improved player during this preseason, man. He's looked absolute baller.
He's looked good.
Box says Carragher finds Amorim good looking then, right? Can we sue for sexual harassment?
That's right.
I would.
Amarin
Just
should
get him.
just come out and be like, Jamie Carragher makes me feel uncomfortable. And just
I feel this is not a safe space. I feel attacked. I feel objectified. Well, that's the quickest way to get Carragher off there. I might have to just report it myself, man. Emba says Rashford bodied Van Dijk on a one-off. First of all, it's Van Dickless. Get it right. If you're going to be on the channel, his name is Van Dickless. Second of all, Rashford's never bodied anybody in his entire life. Let's have it right. He's just not. Dorgu for me, says Danny. Yeah, you saw it's going to be Dorgu. Dorgu's just leaps and bounds from, like, we knew that was probably going to happen. So let me get this 11 off the screen because I'm tired of looking at that. Any player that you think is going to surprise us this season?
I can't get my list up because my list is gone. But I think we're going to see some good work coming from the youngsters. I think Heaven's going to do well. He's going to come in and play some good minutes. We've seen him put in a good shifts. I think he's going to do well. Yoro, we already said, is going to do well. And then a couple of other players. We'll see some of the younger guys that will come through the academy. I think we might see. We'll talk about in a minute. One of the guys that I'm going to mention. But I think we'll see some younger players come in and do well too.
I think Mason Mount could surprise us this season. I think towards the tail end of last season, especially in the Europa League, we saw the sort of things that Mount is capable of when he's fit. And I think that even to start this season, I've said there, like, to start that season with the way Bruno was playing, I would have maybe started Mount in that deeper role. If he can stay fit, I think that Mason Mount could definitely surprise us and can prove to be just a very, very useful asset. And I think I like that. Like, if he can just stay fit, though. It sounds like he wasn't actually hurt, maybe just a little. From what Amorim said, maybe a precaution because we had already lost Cunha. We didn't want to lose any more players. But what are you saying? Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Danny says Lamans will surprise us. I think if you're looking at if you're looking at from the lens of, like, there are a lot of United fans and maybe a lot of Premier League football fans that don't watch other leagues and they maybe don't know much about guys like Lamans. Yes, I think he's going to be an absolute surprise for a lot of people. The same way He Who Shall Not Be Named probably would have been a huge surprise for a lot of us. But in terms of, I think maybe if he gets minutes and he performs and he doesn't get another start, I'll be pissed off. I'm going to be pissed off. But
yeah.
Who's the top scorer going to be for us this season, Dylan?
I actually am going to go with somebody who's not been a top scorer for us before, and I'm going to go with Mbumo.
You're going
to say he's going to get some. Yeah, I think he's going to get some runs off on the sides, like we saw those cutbacks that we saw on the weekend with Burnley. I think he'll feast on those for that. So I think he's going to be the one to lead us this year.
Yeah, Mbiz and Danny both agree with you. I'm going the safe route, and I'm just going to say it's going to be Bruno because it tends to be Bruno. It is what it is. Now, it could look different since he's in a little deeper role now, but I think we'll probably still see Bruno get some goals. What were you saying?
I think Box has a good shout out here. So
Own goal. Own goal is
That's
going to be our top scorer. Box has got the comment of the night. so far, so far, we've got like over 6 xg, and we've only scored like 3 goals, and 2 of them were OGs. So,
yeah,
oh man, it's gonna. If you look at how many chances we've created, the fact we've got like the best xg, the most, like all the shots we've created, when it starts clicking, the goals are gonna just freaking start flying. But it's just a matter of
that's
this.
yeah,
Why I wanted the business done early, because Mbumo Shesko
yeah,
could have been at that point by now.
yeah. It
Oh,
would
I hear
it would
Cat.
have been nice. Yep, she's playing with me. Well, playing with me in terms of she's biting my hand right now because
Awesome.
apparently I've done something wrong.
Nice.
Yeah, if once that lid lifts off the goal,
Yeah.
oh man, it's gonna be such a cathartic experience for all of us. It's like, oh, this
Yeah.
is what it feels like.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at now. Oh, we scored a goal. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like the Lions fans celebrating those first downs. We got a friggin' song for first downs when you're a
yeah.
Detroit Lions fan, man. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going in Bumo. A lot of people going in Bruno. I'm going Bruno. Which youngster do you think could be the next youngster to kind of break into the first team squad?
And this is just based on everything I've heard in the clips I've seen from the training stuff. I think it's going to be Sekou Kone.
Yeah.
There's a place for him to be in that pivot. That would be I could totally see him get some time, especially once he recovers from the head injury, to come back and
Yeah.
have a place in the first team, learn, develop, and get some minutes at some point. I think he's going to be the one we're going to see come up.
He's definitely almost like a little miniature version of Baleba, the way he plays. He's physical. He's floats around all over midfield. He'll drop deep. He's really, really good at beating that initial press and driving that ball up the pitch. Very good young player. We'll see how he comes back from his injury. Box gives us another stat. We face less shots on average as well. Yeah, we're doing. It's just got to click. I think it'll click.
Yep.
I've looked at a couple of these guys. I'm looking at guys like Mather, who's like 20. I think he's right there. Shea Lacey's another one, like Danny says. He's come on the other day and he's just looked bright as hell. Jack Fletcher, if we're looking at midfielders who are just need to be tidy on that ball and kind of compose from deep rolls, he's looked really, really good anytime he's done that. Ibrahimov's up there. Kone obviously is up there as well. Kukonki looks really good in that left-sided role as well. Matato, you can pretty much close your eyes, throw a rock at Carrington, and hit a player that is maybe on the cusp of getting some at least match day squad experience. Now, maybe they're not quite ready for the squad, but if we're still in the Carabao Cup, I would say for sure, yeah, some of these guys like Diego Leon or something, but it's just sad. It depends on who we get in that first match, although we got fucking Grimsby Town, and that didn't make a difference. Jeez.
That should be Arsenal again.
God, fucking hell. Honestly, the ref tried everything to make that game the worst game I've ever seen, and we just still did it. Talk about a redemption arc for Xerxes, though.
Oh yeah.
Mbez is going Kone. He says it was heaven last season, Kobe the year before, Garnacho season before. This would be Sekou Kone. If he comes back and he's fit, because remember, he's got to wear that mask now because he got an eye socket fracture, I think, in that match that we were kind of following along for a little bit. Box thinks that Gabriel and Kai Rooney front two by the end of the season. Oh, man, 14-year-old. He's 14. He scored a 27-minute hat trick for the under-18s the other day. Absolute baller. Kai looks like his dad for sure, like just the way he plays, man.
I've seen some clips. He's going to be good.
Montato is very good, and Biz, he is very, very good. If we hadn't signed Senelamans, I almost would have said Vitek because I thought that we would have gotten to a point where we would have had to recall him from loan. I thought we were going to get to that point if we didn't sign anyone. But what do you make of this rumor on goalkeepers that Onana reportedly came back to preseason and one of the first things he did was ask for a new contract? That's coming from Laurie Whitwell, who apparently says that did not go down well with Amorim, according to Laurie Whitwell.
I don't even know why he'd think that would be appropriate with the way he played. Like that read the room, dude.
We're not in Champions League. Whose fault is that, motherfucker?
Yeah. You know what? I played like shit last year, but I think I deserve a new contract.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Anywhere else you do that, you get fired.
This is why I don't like the Premier League proven thing, because there are literally people from other clubs who would say, let's get Onana. He's Premier League proven. But what does that mean,
really?
though? If you're proven to be shit in the Premier League, then you're still shit. Like
Exactly.
Premier League proven doesn't mean anything in my opinion. At least it doesn't mean as much as people like to make it out to mean. Is I
Yeah.
guess where I'm coming. Your cat sounds hungry, bro.
No, I
Um,
fed her. She wants to play.
oh, cats. Oh, cats. Nana is a disgrace. Onana
He
is an
is.
absolute disgrace. Box says that sounds like something Onana would do. Figure the most ballsy he ever gets in the United shirt is asking for a new fucking
Yeah.
contract. The fucking cheek on this motherfucker.
Ah, jeez.
What in the hell do you think entitles you to that, dude? Seriously.
Maybe.
I posted, I would, if that were me, if I'd have been Wilcox or Barada, even like a couple weeks ago or however long it was, and he done that, I'd still be laughing to this day. Like
Oh
to
yeah.
this day, I would still be laughing.
I saw
Oh
that
shit.
report and I was like, "Are you?" I literally told I was in class and I was like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Yeah.
Because it was right at the end of the day and I was looking at it, just scrolling through it. I'm like, and the kids are like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't worry about
Don't worry about it. Shut up, kids. Watch Planet Earth.
it."
I'm done with you. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. I just that's messed up. All right, another big question. So obviously we went through starting 11. We ran it. We looked at the business. We rated the window table. When it comes when everything is done and dusted, all the points are on the table. Where do you think United are going to finish by the end of the season, guys? Get your picks in. Where do you see United finishing the 25-26 Premier League season in the league table?
So I've got us. I think again, this is going to be another transition year. I think we're going to improve from where we were last year. Kind of have to, based on where we were at. I think this year we're going to get top half of the table, but I think we're just going to be outside European places, eighth or ninth, depending on where that hits. I think that would be good for us. If I can see that level of improvement, if we're starting to look better, that I'm fine with that. I want to see improvement. I want us to get to that point where like, hey, we're getting better. People are going to be like, hey, they're growing a team here. So yeah,
So you're going eighth or ninth. I'm actually going seventh or eighth.
okay.
So when you say ninth, what have you seen so far? Or what do you think that you think would make you feel that way? Why would you put us there?
So the attack's going to come, like we were talking about. It's going to when the goals start flowing. That's going to help us get going. It's going to be the problems in the central midfield, linking it when other teams break us down,
Yeah,
and get through that central midfield. Especially if we don't necessarily have the cohesiveness with a quality goalkeeper like Onana still in there. Um, yeah, that's going to cause problems, and we could easily get ripped apart with that particular setup. And heads will go down, they'll lose the fight, and then we just need to not see that happen.
yeah.
So I think definitely we'll get to a point where eighth or ninth is pretty good. Even seventh, I can see us getting. I don't think we're quite there yet to get to the other level. So I
Yeah.
think we need to. I think give us another season and we'll get there.
I think when I look at it too, what gives me a little more confidence that we might finish higher does have to do with other stuff going on. We're not in Europe. We're not in the Carabao
Mhm.
Cup, so we literally can just focus on the league. Other teams who are also struggling could drop a lot of points. I mean, City are already dropping points. Villa are already struggling. These are the teams that were taking a lot of points off us and other teams last season as well.
Mhm.
And like Box says, like other few rivals teams are going to be flawed a little bit. I don't see Villa or Forest doing as well as they did. Obviously, Wolves are down in bottom right now as well. Brighton, I don't really see anything from Brighton that makes me super, super worried. And then, like Nanny says as well, if we make another signing in January, um, I think that could really all these other teams have spent a lot of money, and yes, City might get but we maybe are saving a little bit of that money. Maybe there's
Mhm.
something an opportunity in January. If we can get a midfielder in January, I think that could be huge. I've already started working on and obviously we're going to wait and see towards the middle of the season, like January deals that we should look at. I've already started putting together notes for that one, but there are opportunities out there if you look at just as you get to that point where teams are in their tables, contracts are coming up, people are in the final year of their contracts and whatnot. There are opportunities out there, and so I'm already starting to look at that, but I do feel like we could take advantage of that. So, like Box says, Villa look poor, Spurs are outplayed. Yeah, I think that it could be very, very interesting. But I'm actually going, yeah, seventh or eighth. You're going eighth or nine. We'll call it eighth. Maybe that's what we'll agree upon. Embis says the midfield is the reason why I think we're going to hold another 7-0 by someone. It'll happen. The manager gets sacked in the cycle. I don't think we're going to be seeing a whole lot of 7-0s anymore. That was a complete just. If you guys look at that, that had nothing to do with you know formations or anything. That had everything to do with mentality. The players just
Mm-hmm.
they just were not up for it at all. Unfortunately. What do you see the top six looking like, Dylan?
So I've got Liverpool finishing first. I think Chelsea are going to pip Arsenal to second.
Yep.
Arsenal will be third. Spurs will probably finish fourth. I got City in fifth, and actually, fuck City, and I'm going to have Newcastle be sixth.
It's very similar to mine. I've got Liverpool, unfortunately, probably going to clinch it again. Chelsea, I have is a little bit of the. I think Chelsea could be the new Arsenal in terms
Mm-hmm.
of just constantly getting that second spot. I got City in third because I do think they are not looking great right now. This is the part of like when people just say we need to buy players. You can buy too many players too quickly. City bought like 8 or 9 players in the last 6 months alone, and there's no way to integrate all these players. It will take time. Arsenal I have in fourth because I just think they've missed their opportunity. I think that they're just gonna. I think from Arsenal's standpoint, it's the fact that nobody in that squad has really done anything like player wise. I think that some of them are going to start to fall off a cliff. Norgard's not really an inspirational signing, in my opinion. I don't think that who's that Italian defender that they picked up last season? What's his fucking name? I don't think he looks great personally.
Fiore.
Yeah, yeah, that guy. Then I got Newcastle fifth, Spurs sixth, and then I've got if you want to go down further, I put either us or Palace down in that seventh place spot. I think that Palace could do really well despite losing some players, kind of a thing. Let's see what y'all are saying here. Embe says, you say that, but it happens to every manager. We lost 6-1, 5-0 under Ollie, 5-3 to Leicester. Yeah, but we also beat like Southampton like 9 something too. Like it does stuff does happen, but again, you could say it happens all the time, but really it happens like maybe once a season, something like that will happen to us. It just doesn't happen. It's like when people are like, "Well, look at us. We signed Van der Sar when he's good. All goalkeepers can play when they're older." I'm like, no, but I can list you the 4 or 5 goalkeepers that you're going to name, and then that's of the sample size of goalkeepers. That's super small. Like I get what you're saying, but like just because something has happened doesn't mean it's going to happen a lot. We beat Arsenal like what 8-2 or something. Like how often has that happened since? It just doesn't happen too often. Bach says he's going Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, City, Newcastle, and then he's got us in 6. I like Bach's optimism. If we get 6, Amorim has got to get a little bit of credit for getting us from where we were last year to 6th place. I mean, you could say he put us in 15th last year, but we've got to get something for that. Then he says Liverpool, Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Spurs, or Newcastle. Yeah, I think it's pretty much going to be same old, same old. Isn't Saliba, isn't he injured? Did they actually get Hincapié? Fuck off,
Yep.
Arsenal. I mean, I don't worry about Ben White. I don't worry about a lot of those guys. They told me, it's told me also even still there anymore.
Mm.
How much do I think Onana is worth? How much change do you have in your pocket this literal moment? Probably twice as much as what Onana is worth right now if you look at just on evidence. So I'm not trying to be mean, but like the guy's the reason we got knocked out of Champions League in the group stage a couple of years ago. He's literally the reason. Relegation. Who do you see getting relegated, Dylan?
Wolves. Wolves are going down, in my opinion.
You think so?
I just don't think they've done enough to stay up in terms of strengthening. Um, I think Burnley will probably go down. I just get the feeling, even though Scott Parker looks like he's done a pretty good job, I get the feeling that they might struggle as the season goes on. And then my list still won't pop up. I had another one on there with other reasons. I don't see. Oh, yeah, Brentford was the other one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Box. I had them too. I just switched positions. I said Brentford was 18th instead of 19th. So.
I actually don't have any newly promoted teams getting relegated this season. I think that Sunderland have looked good. Burnley have done really well. I think Leeds are already doing pretty well. I actually have Brentford, Wolves, like you, because for some reason Wolves they just lost players again. And I actually have Fulham. I don't think Fulham look super convincing at the moment. Marco Silva not looking great. Obviously they looked good against us, but fucking everybody does, so we can't use that as a measure. But I have Brentford, Fulham, and Wolves going down. And then Danny says Wolves or Brentford, even Villa. Yeah, I had West Ham for a second. West Ham just always seem to avoid it though for some reason. Because
Mm-hmm.
even if they sat Graham Potter, they'll just go get someone else who will come in. Like I literally think Mourinho will come and manage West Ham if Graham Potter gets sacked. And I think Mourinho will probably do just fine because they're set up the way Mourinho likes to play. He's got Fellaini 2.0 in Thomas Suchek in there. Literally, just that's who he is. He's got the sort of players that he likes there as well. So Bexy says, is the league tougher this season? I think in a way, just because the teams that are always in the top four just keep buying. And so
Mm-hmm.
it does make it a little harder for people to claw their way up that ladder. But it is what it is. Danny says Leeds look a little better. Embe says Fulham played good against Chelsea. They were robbed. But I think that might be a problem because Fulham are, I mean, yes, it's a couple matches in, so it's hard to predict, but it's kind of like us. Like we need to start getting points against the sides that like Fulham who took points off us last season. And
Mm-hmm.
if Fulham struggled to take those points off of teams like United, that's really what helped them last season. And so you have to show that you can do that. You have to maintain. And so yeah, they are better because they just came in hard. I mean, between Burnley and Sunderland, they bought nearly 30 players.
Mm-hmm.
That's ambition. That's what you do. You know, if you can avoid relegation, you know how much money you're getting in that TV money. It pays for itself almost, and you don't have to
And
buy again next season.
they bought players that fit what they're trying to do too. So that's the
I
other thing.
mean, granted, Xhaka went this. I thought for sure someone like Christian Eriksen could go to Sunderland and do very, very well there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But yeah, and that's the thing. They're not concerned about next season. They're concerned about staying up, and then they've got 14 new players, both of them, that they'll be fine with.
Yep.
That's fine. They made a lot of money from Joe Bellingham, Sunderland. They could do well. Danny's taking off. Big up, Danny. Thanks for popping
Take
up,
her easy,
man.
Danny.
Take it easy, dude. So what about European football, Dylan? Is the FA Cup our best bet? Is that even a realistic possibility for us winning the FA Cup?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a chance. I don't necessarily think it'll happen, but I think that's probably going to be the best route we have. I
Yeah,
think
it's all about the draw, right?
the league's going to be tough, and yeah, the draw is gonna be down to the draw. So
Yeah, and that's why I respect the league much. I put it on a higher tier than Champions League. Even you can win Champions League without ever having to play any
mhm.
tough teams. You can get easy routes to an FA Cup final. I mean, it is what it is. You don't have any control over that, but at least in the league, you got to play everybody twice, and you don't get to hide there. So if we get decent draws, if we show up, I wouldn't put it past us. But I don't like being in that situation where that's our best bet, like we were a couple of years ago when we got back to Europa League. It's just, or like last year when we had to win Europa League to get to Champions League. It's just,
Yep.
you have to look at it what it is. We have to take things as they are, not the way we want them to be sometimes, and that's just the way it is, man. Let's see. Box says sixth in the FA Cup winners. Look at that. Cup definitely half full. I like the positivity.
Mhm.
Um, who's the first manager to get sacked this year? What's the sack race look like?
I have Graham Potter getting sacked
You
first.
have Graham Potter, huh?
I think the only reason they beat Forest this last weekend is because Forest had all of that stuff with Nuno going on. I think that was in everybody's heads,
Yeah.
and I think that's why they showed up. I don't, from what I've watched with West Ham, they don't look good.
Yeah, they
Um,
don't. They don't look good at
and
all.
that's and I'm like, and I was writing down things because I considered them for relegation too, and I'm like, they lost Kudus. That's going to be rough for them to replace. Paquet's is fine, but he's hit and miss at certain points. Bowen can't do all the attack himself. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
there. I think definitely Potter's probably going to, and like you were saying, Marino might show back up in West London. So
Yeah, Marino I could definitely see him doing that as well. I mean, you've got a lot of options. Like Edu showed up to Forest and pretty much just elbowed Nuno like out of the whole conversation when it came to anything. And
yep,
he's already one of the favorites. Unai Emery could very easily get sacked if
yep,
Villa can't find a way to turn. I mean, they only made a couple signings and it's very late in the window. That's not a good look. That doesn't really help him up. He got you back into Europe. He had you guys looking good, and then you turn around and treat him like this. It doesn't really help.
yeah, no.
Keith Andrews, I think at Brentford could be at risk. Vitor Pereira at Wolves, obviously. I threw in also again Marco Silva or Andoni Iraola or even Oliver Glasner because they lost
Mm-hmm.
key players. But I think that they didn't really replace a lot of these players. I think even Iraola or Glasner could walk. Now I've read a rumor that Glasner this is going to be his last season anyway at Palace. I don't know how true that is. That was from Indy Kayla. Um,
He because he was the Wolfsburg manager when I was because I'm a Wolfsburg fan. He was the Wolfsburg manager. He probably would have stayed there longer, but he got into disagreements with the ownership
mm,
about the direction of the club. And so he left. He stayed out for a bit. He went to Frankfurt. He won the Europa League there and left there.
yeah,
Then he went to Palace. So he has a history of doing that. So I could easily see him leaving.
yeah, he. Yeah, I remember. I watched more of. I know him more from Frankfurt because I watched a lot of
Mm-hmm.
Frankfurt back when they had like Evan and Dika and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
They did really, really well. But I think Iriola could definitely walk with just you. Like I've said it many times, you can't. It's not sustainable, and it doesn't help your managers to be a selling club. It's just not.
No.
It gets to a certain point where you've got to decide altogether. Okay, this is when we turn the corner. This is when we start
Mm-hmm.
building. We can't just. That's not a good model. Like Brighton do that. Dortmund really look at Dortmund. Do a lot of Dutch clubs do this. You can't do that. Like you have to somehow. It's great if you're in like a two-team league, like your RB Salzburg or something, but you can't do that in the Premier League and expect
No.
to sustain. It's just not going to work. You're setting your managers up for failure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's getting worse and worse. I mean, Ten Hag's been sacked. Ollie's been sacked. Josie's been sacked. Ten Hag got sacked 2 matches in. Like clubs don't care. Like, do you think it's managers not they're just not given enough time? Do you think that in general managers just aren't going to get enough time? Should they do better earlier on? Is that the manager's fault? Is it the clubs worrying that they can't afford to wait for managers to take a year or two to do this anymore? Like, what do you think's going on here?
I think it's a combination of all that because I think you see. I mean, Liverpool's a good example, especially I don't like to say nice things about Liverpool. I mean, they had some pretty mediocre years there for a while, even with Klopp, and they built the system and they have had sustained success from that. And I think in today's with social media, with everything else going on, where people want instant results, instant gratification, that has definitely hurt managers because everybody wants to see the wins right now.
Yeah,
Show them what have you done lately, and if you can't, the idea of progress has kind of been lost, which is why I'm like, if Amarin shows progress, I'm all for keeping him. Okay,
yeah,
but you have to show the fight, you have to show the players, mentality is improving. And so for a lot of managers that need longer periods to build their systems, I don't see them going to do well at the higher levels. Lower levels, they may be fine where there's a little bit less at stake
yeah,
in terms of as long as they can be competitive, they're okay. But
yeah.
yeah, I think for your higher level managers, it's always going to be win now. You got to win right now. You got to be competitive now, and if you can't do that, you're gone.
Yeah, I do think that. So we did a video a while back, probably like almost a year ago. What makes a good manager, right? Different criteria, crisis management. How do you deal with injuries and whatnot? Man management, personalities, CV,
Mm-hmm.
tactics. All that kind of stuff. We talked a lot. Like everybody's going to have a different kind of hierarchy there, and I agree to an extent. Like with what Imbiz says, like managers need to start like getting the best out of the players and need to maybe trust the players a little bit more. I think that that's where Ten Hag failed in many regards.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I look at clubs like Brentford, clubs like Bournemouth this year. Like you can be a good manager, but if you're at a selling club and they're constantly just selling your best players, like Iriola lost like 3 of his 4-man defense, and it was like one of the best defenders. Like it's hard. There's only so much you can do. Not
Yep.
every manager is like Fergie. You can get blood from a stone. Not every manager can start 7 defenders against Arsenal and still come out with a 2-0 win. It just doesn't happen. I think that you're not seeing that anymore. I don't think that really exists. Managers need the tools. It's like if I rock up to build a house and I don't have the tools, there's only so much I'm going to be able to do. And I do think there's a fine line between getting the most out of your players you have, but also like the club's got to help their managers out. And
Yeah.
even further than that, if you can't buy players, like you can't just constantly sell your best players. Like it doesn't help. if
Yeah.
you had a decent academy, if you had some decent scouts or whatever, maybe you could somewhat cover the cracks, but it just doesn't help, man. You can. I like managers trying to get the most out of players. I do think it's a good task, but at the end of the day, the club's got to help them out as well.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. There's not a right or wrong answer. It's just, it is what it is. Guys, make sure we're all coming to the end here, guys. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, please, because I want your hot takes. Dylan, what are your hot takes for the season? What are some just out there predictions that you've got just in general? Because I've got some, you've got some.
So, and that, it would be great. This would be fantastic to hear. And you already had this down here when you said hot takes earlier. I was like, this has to be one. Um, uh, we finally get some resolution on those city charges.
Yeah, I think I'll even go harder and I'll say City are going to be punished. Maybe
Oh,
I
that
don't
would be
know how, but I
fantastic.
think my hot take is City will be punished this year.
I go down to the National League. That would be fantastic.
I don't think that
Transfer
will happen.
ban, everything.
I just want
Uh,
all their trophies to get taken away. I don't need
yeah.
anything else.
So that's a big one for me. I think I think we're going to see some more parity in the. I can't. I'm tired right now, so my brain's not thinking. Top scorer. I think we're going to see a lot more parity. I don't think it's going to be Salah. I don't think it's going to be Holland. I think we'll see
Mm.
different people come up and take that particular one this year. And just for United, I think we're going to see Bruno take a step back. We've already seen him kind of do that. I think we're going to see other players come up and be more vocal, almost to the leadership point.
Yeah.
So I think this kind of been talking about with we've mentioned before that I think there was a news report that said Bruno's mentioned he'd be fine going somewhere else next year. I think yeah, this could be a test case. This season we could see who's going to be our leaders for that. So
Yeah, Bruno. There definitely is a sense of Bruno probably passing the baton this year and kind of taking a step deeper into midfield and then taking a step. I That was one of my takes is Bruno will leave in the summer. I think
mhm,
he will be gone next summer and we'll get a decent amount of money. Probably not 100, maybe like 75, 80,
mhm.
which is fine because it's more and still money. Embis says Grealish will get the most assists in the league.
That's a good
Interesting
one.
stuff. That's a good shout. Going outside of United, I said McTominay will outscore Rasmus Højlund at Napoli. Was my
Yeah,
hot take. um, I think that I think United will sign a midfielder in January. I think that will happen. Who that midfielder is, I can't tell you because I don't know. It's going to have a lot to do with again what the league tables look like towards November, December, going into that January window, and then I will come back with that stream for January deals that United should look at. Not all of them are going to be midfielders. Some of them are going to be right backs and one. I've already got my list. We're putting it
mhm.
together. So that's my thing. Other than that, I think that Garnacho will leave Chelsea on loan in January. I think that
I would
they
not even
will.
be shocked.
I think Garnacho. I don't think he's going to be there longer than a year. So I really don't. I think that they'll get tired of him, or he won't be working out, and then he'll already be looking to get a loan. I think that
Yep,
we could.
and he'll
Um,
probably demand to go to Real Madrid or something.
yeah, I think yeah, and then my biggest one, probably my biggest hot take is I have a feeling that we're going to see some because with all the remember we talked about this a while ago on the channel. There's a clause in the ownership agreement that says by a certain point, if Sir Jim hasn't purchased the full club, 18 months in, the Glazers can sell. I think we will see a major Manchester United ownership related announcement this season. I just get that sense with all this stuff going on that we're going to see something go on there. I don't know if it's going to be there's a way to get rid of the debt, if there's a way to full ownership, or if the buying options have been reopened. Basically,
Mhm.
I think we'll see something. Um, Again, I get that sense right now with what's going on in these last couple months with the clause that was activated and whatnot. So, but those are my hot takes. City be punished. McTominay is going to outscore Hoyland. Garnacho will leave on loan in January. We'll sign a midfielder. Bruno will leave in the summer, and then we'll see ownership announcements. And Fox says United will win at least 5 Premier League games in a row at some point. Fuck, if we do that, I mean, we didn't win. We didn't do that at all last year.
No,
That kid's still growing his fucking hair. Poor kid. Emba says, hot take: when Havertz come back, Gyökeres will get dropped. Ooh,
That'd be
big hot
awesome.
take. That might be some people's pick for player they're glad we didn't sign that we were linked to is Gyökeres, but he did bag a couple. He doesn't look super like I don't know comfortable or whatnot. But again, he's only been here for a hot second. So,
Yeah.
and remember, this is an Arsenal team that really hasn't used any strikers since Arteta's been there. Really, so it's a lot of getting kind of acclimated to everything. So,
Mhm.
um, big up Ethan Ennis and Jack Morehouse for scoring on their debuts for their loan clubs. Ennis scored in his debut for Fleetwood Town. So we're gonna actually see Ethan Ennis when we're there because we're going to that Salford game when they play Fleetwood.
All
So we'll see
right.
that. And then Jack
Scouting
Morehouse.
report.
Yeah, there you go. Jack Morehouse for Leighton Orient. I should rock up and be like, yo, I've got my PFS. I'm a PFA member. I've got a PFSA license as well. Give me some good seats, guys. I'll do a scouting report. Then I can write the whole trip off.
There you go. You
But
do that, and I'll show up for the national cleanliness and everything standards, and be like, "We just did United. We're not in a good mood." So,
there you go. Oh, Box has got a big shout. Is Napoli winning the Champions League this
damn.
season? That's that's interesting. If they win, I mean Hoyland. I mean, part of Hoyland's obligation is Napoli have to qualify for Champions League next year, which is probably absurd. So
Hmm.
I'm not too worried about that. So he's out of here. Oh, Dylan, any final thoughts, guys? Get your final thoughts in. Anything we didn't discuss? Anything else you want to throw out there? Because that is pretty much it. Guys, make sure you're liking and make sure you're subscribing and sharing this too. I know a lot of new faces. I want to look at this when I'm done and see the subscribers higher than it was before we started, guys. Dylan, final thoughts on anything?
Final thought number one: awesome show. I love doing these ones. These are the regular kickabout's fun, but these special ones are always entertaining.
Yeah, we've done a couple
Um,
of these ones so far too, huh?
mhm. Yeah, these just add a little more to it. We get a little more nuance. We have some great commentators. We have random internet outages that just
Yeah,
turns into the
I
Ericsson
thought I thought it
show.
was you because you were frozen on my screen, but apparently that was not the case.
Well, it had to be hilarious for everybody else because I'm sitting there like, hello, hello.
It was a good. It was a
but
good test.
but um, no, I think the season's going to be. I think we're definitely going to go through some hard times here at the beginning, just getting some things on. We got that rough patch. We have City and Chelsea coming up. We get through that. Get through Liverpool. We get to different parts of. Well, I think we'll start to see things start to click.
Yeah,
And I think by Christmas we'll have a better idea of where we're at. And I think by that point, when you and I are there, we'll be able to celebrate some things.
I
So,
hope so. I mean, I think Wolves almost had me worried to start the season before the
hmm
season kicked off. Now I'm like, oh fuck it. Maybe my bad luck will be done because I'm bad luck when I go. When I go, we don't tend to do well. So it is a bit. It's like hit or miss. We beat Southampton when Justin and I were there, and then Brighton. We shit the bed.
yeah.
It just is what it is. When I was there by myself, I think we drew against Southampton, and then we lost to Crystal Palace. That was the match we had like Amrabat playing left back, which was fucking
Mm.
nuts. And then Justin and I there, I think we won. We beat Real Betis, and then we drew against Southampton. Oddly enough, so it's it's hit or miss. But Newcastle, yeah, they could still rock up and do us. But Wolves, we'll see. It's never a guarantee.
Yep.
But it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that trip. Dylan and I are going in December, so you guys check in there. We'll be doing some live streams when they're obviously it's months away, but it's going to be good times. But that's going to be it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the transfer window rating video. I hope you guys enjoyed the season predictions. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good thoughts from everyone. Good to get everyone's thoughts and predictions and everything. Sounds like a lot of us are pretty on the same page, rating the window, prediction of where we might get. So sounds like, we maybe have a little high expectations in terms of, finishing seventh or eighth or something. But I think that we all pretty much agree that the window probably, 5, 6 out of 10 or so, that 6 out of 10 range. So we'll see what happens as we go through the season. But I like what we're seeing. Guys, make sure to also keep a lookout. We've got some more videos that are going to be dropping during this international break as well. So keep a lookout for the next episode of What If. I've got another scouting report special for you as well. So lots of good content coming out for these international breaks. Dylan, what you got going on the rest of the night, man? Hanging out with the cat?
Hanging out with the cat. Got to Got to get a couple things ready for class tomorrow, but other than that, just relaxing.
Well, I do appreciate you putting in the time, man. I see you working on stuff throughout the day, and it's good to. It's. I'm always very appreciative of you taking the time out of your night, man.
Just, I get a call from my admin tomorrow. Like, I got a call that said somebody said you were working on some other project at work or something. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, I was joking the whole time. He wasn't
I
doing
know.
that. He was
Yeah,
doing
you're
good
good.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Take it easy, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, all the new faces. You guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and on the way out, check the Unitedverse Everybody store as well. You guys will see all the links on the channel's main page if you want to go look at stuff. If you want to get United jerseys, old ones even, and you won't want to spend a lot of money, and you even want a discount, there is a code in the video description to get $5 off at GoGoalShop. It's where I got this 0708 monster that is long sleeve. I freaking love this thing.
Nice.
It is awesome. I got this year's third on the way. They do have the player versions of this year's third now. They just put those up today. So
Nice.
go check all that out, you guys. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.
Have a good one, everybody.